All right. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Thank you for stopping by for another late night, another late night of boxing talk, man. Um, Real quickly, I want to just start off by giving a couple of people some shout outs in the chat, and let me know if you guys can hear me. All right, let me know if you're having problem hearing me out. But let me shout out reversely. Fury is a liar and a degenerate. We're gonna talk about that, man. Salute to Durden. Salute to L Dogs. Papaya Salad. Salute. Anderson Aldo. Salute. British Titans. Hating on Fury because he beat your boy Wilder. Yep, that's exactly what it is, bro. You got me figured out. It's all about beating Wilder. Oh, man. Salute to Durden. Let's give a shout out to L Dogs. SSB 28. Sup, Matrix. Salute, bro. Your boy Jack Wes is here. You got Brandon Blanco. Brandon Blanco, salute. And let's go Fury sarcasm for fuck Tyson Fury. Yeah. Timothy Figueroa, salute to you, bro. Wisconsin Blob. Whatever. Salute to you, man. Brandon Blanco says Fury is back to snorting, which explains why he's making all those lies, excuse me. You got MMA, says yo. You got the greatest. Allah Akbar. You got the Quags. Oops. The Quags is right here. Good evening, fellas. You got Boxing Lounge. Guerrero de la Info. Salute to everyone, man. Thank you for stopping by. All right, so you guys see the title. You see what's going on. Tyson Fury had a little message that he left to, he was taking shots at Anthony Joshua and at the same time taking shots at Alexander Usyk. A lot of people would say, it's just Tyson Fury being Tyson Fury, and I believe there's some of that going on. But I also believe that, when he takes these little sly shots, as in, this is gamesmanship, wink, wink. I think when it comes to these two characters, Anthony Joshua and Usyk, there's a little bit animosity towards them, and I think for two different reasons. One, with Anthony Joshua, who's from the same country as he is, and they share the spotlight. They're both heavyweights. They're guys with a lot of success in their careers, so they're natural rivals, right? And if you listen to Tyson Fury in past, I think there's with what's happening, he might feel that there's certain things happening in his country that, we'll put it this way, that would be favorable to Anthony Joshua. And there's a little bit of hating there. There's a little bit of animosity. Maybe not hating, but like, that feeling of, well, you just getting it because, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua is more of a privileged guy who's getting the breaks because he has crossover appeal, something like that. And so does Tyson Fury, but he has it for different reason. He's the bad guy, so to speak. Not to his fans, though, not to his fanboys, right? He gets a lot of credit for beating Deontay Wilder, which, he deserves. But when you look at it, when you look at it from this point on, you would see that I think Tyson Fury always knew he had a mental edge over him, a physical edge as well in terms of size, height, reach, and just naturally the better boxer. And so, I think when he was frustrating Wilder, it was more play. Where I think when it comes to AJ and Usyk, these are guys that are a little bit more educated, or a lot more educated than a guy like Wilder, and especially inside the ring. When it comes to technique, boxing fundamentals, and just being more coherent than a guy like Wilder. And so when he takes these little digs, I do believe it's Tyson Fury being who he is, you know, staying in the spotlight, saying something controversial, that will get a lot of attention. But I also do believe there's a little resentment towards guys like that, right? There's, like I said, AJ's the clean cut guy, you know, uh, better at that aspect of selling the clean cut athlete, and you got Usyk, who's a pound for pound fighter in the heavyweight division, fighting guys much bigger than him and outboxing them thoroughly. At least he did with Anthony Joshua, you know, a rival of Tyson Fury. So yeah, that's my take on it. I'll drop the link so people can hop on and give their opinion on this subject. Um, you know, we're not only going to talk about this subject, we could talk about other stuff going on in the world of boxing. Go with the flow. So I'm going to drop the link. All right, there we go. Post. And there we go. That's the link. Anybody could jump on. All right, anybody could jump on. Just no stupid shit. No trying to drop pornographic pics, avatars, because you get kicked out, obviously, and I'll try to ban you for good. All right. What's up, Brandon Blanco?
What's up?
How's it
How's
going, man?
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, this day, I mean, it was just meh. Other than the news that Tyson Fury was saying that Usyk is on steroids. I mean, but other than that, I mean, it was like, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think he tries to get underneath people's skin, and or he
Yeah,
just
it's just Tyson Fury. Yeah.
it's just he goes off the top of the head. But I do feel that there's some type of resentment towards these two fighters. It's like a competitive. It's part of this competitive nature that he has, and on top of that, he's extremely emotional. He's a very emotional guy. So he
And
tries to like throw a little slide this with a wink. I'm just
yeah,
fucking around. I'm playing, but he really means it.
I
That's
think
what
I
I
think
get from him.
yeah. I just think I just believe like it's it's ironic given the fact that Tyson Fury himself he tested positive for
Exactly, man.
meldonium or like meldonium, which is
It
like
was some
a
type of old type
enhanced.
of steroid. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
some.
exactly. And
It's
he
like
has the
definitely
nerve to
steroids.
talk
Yeah.
about steroids, and he has the nerve to talk. Give me a fucking break. Come on, Tyson Fury. Uh, I just for me, to be honest, I really do believe that, kind of like what you said, that there's a bit of a resentment towards Usyk, and but for me, for different reasons. One, because I think Fury, no, sorry, uh, Usyk has a better win than Anthony Joshua, that's a better win than
Mm-hmm.
that's a better win than Fury's win over Wilder, because I mean when you look at Wilder and what has he done, he's just a one trick pony pretty much. I mean, all
Mm-hmm.
he has is power, and that's pretty much it. And when you look, and also his resume is garbage, other than Luis Ortiz, and even Luis Ortiz isn't that good to begin with. But when you compare Joshua's resume to um to Wilder's resume, I mean, Joshua has a better resume. I mean, he has fought Reese, Joseph Parker. Any of those wins are better than Deontay Wilder's best wins. So I guess he's just mad that, I mean, Usyk, he is the real deal, and when he fights him, yeah, Usyk is gonna school him. So yeah.
I think it was also ironic that he takes a shot at both guys, and then he would throw the littler guy, as the steroid guy. So it's like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Come
You're
on, Fury.
insane, man. What's up, Gons? I don't know who Gons is. Maybe it's Gonzalo.
Yeah, what's up? How's it going?
How's
Oh,
it going,
Gonzalo, my
Gonzalo?
brother. What's up, man?
Yeah, what's up, guys? Chilling.
What's going on?
What
So, what do you
time is
think
it in
about
the
this topic?
Philippines?
It's 1:43 p.m. I just watched the documentary on Tony Ayala. That dude was bad, but he threw his life away. He was on the cusp of a
Tony
world
Ayala,
title.
yeah. Tony
Tony
Ayala, I
Ayala.
remember him. Yep,
Huh.
I remember
Yeah,
Tony Ayala. Yeah, go ahead,
that's
Tony
right.
Gonzalo.
He
Ayala.
was with Lou Duva, 22 victories, 19 KOs.
Yeah, man. What happened
He's
again with
the
him, Gons? What happened with
Tony.
him?
He was bad, dude. Tony Ayala. I think he's probably Ayala's older brother, since in the documentary he's got a brother and the name is Paulie. But I don't know. It doesn't
Yes.
look like him, but it could be. And he threw his life away, man. He was a good fighter.
How did he? What did he do again? I forgot.
Well, the life and crimes of Paulie Ayala.
Rape, I guess.
He raped the
He
girl. Then
got
when he
yeah,
got
yeah,
out,
yeah,
yep,
yeah.
he was on the
He
straight and
died.
narrow. When he got out, he died. Yeah, heroin overdose in his
Yeah,
gym. But yeah, cool
that's right,
story.
That's
man.
crazy. That's
That's
really
that's a
crazy.
that's a great name that you brought up, man. Because Tony, yeah, man. Tony Ayala was one of those
Also,
guys,
what
man.
wasn't he supposed to fight Roberto Duran like in a title eliminator of some sort, but it got canceled, or
Yeah, that's right.
damn, that's really interesting. I've never heard of him at all. Like,
He went to jail for rape. Yeah, he had went to jail for rape.
Yeah,
Salute, Outlaw.
Rich the historian. If you guys don't know that channel, man, that's a good channel. It's called Rich the Historian, and he
Rich the
just uploaded a
Historian.
video on the life
He
and
has a
crimes of Paulie
YouTube
Ayala.
channel.
Yup, it's really
I'll
cool,
check it
man.
out.
Rich the Historian.
Rich
I'll
the
check it out.
Historian.
What's going on?
So what's
Cool.
up,
Recognise my
Outlaw?
bruh. What's
What's
What
going
do you
on,
think
my
about
going?
the
bar?
title?
What's going on?
So, Outlaw, what do you think about the title, man? What do you think about
I didn't even know
Tyson
about
Fury?
this, bruh. Yeah, you have told me. I didn't even see this. I've just been listening to you lads. But yeah. See, I don't think Fury wants to fight Usyk, bruh. I think he's praying for Joshua to win that rematch. You know what I mean? Joshua's a bigger fight. I think he thinks it's easier. It's a bigger fight in the UK. I think he wants Usyk out the way. I think he's hating. So I think he's kind of he's kind of hating on Usyk a bit, and he's kind of annoyed that that's who he has to
That's
go
what I
through.
thought. If you listen to the little disses that he did right in that video, that short little video clip, basically he takes a bigger shot at Usyk while trying to act like he's not really worried about him. He's like, "Oh, Joshua, you big dosser, you let the belts go back to the Ukraine, to this little steroid fuck, whatever the fuck he said." And so it's like again, like I think he was taking a shot at both guys, but definitely more, in my opinion, I think he was taking more of a shot at Usyk because, like you said, he doesn't really care to fight Usyk unless there's a lot of big money. If there's big money involved, and look, to be fair, I think if they fought right now, I would give Usyk a great shot, but I would pick Fury. So I'm not hating on Tyson Fury. I'm just observing certain behavior patterns. Like he's cool, calm, and collective when you talk about Wilder, right? Because he knows he got that dude, right? He knows mentally. Wilder's not that articulate in terms of speaking. His boxing skills are very limited. You know, he's dangerous with just one punch, but he knows that going into the next two fights with especially the third fight, right? He knew he was in cruise control in terms of mentally, and then how the fight turned out. I think with these guys, there's a little bit of an unknown. You know what I'm saying? You got, you know, with AJ, that's a fellow countryman. He's a big star. You know, they both big name fighters in the UK. So there's a bit of a natural rival going on there. And then there's Usyk, who he thinks is the better fighter. He knows is the better fighter, better boxer when it comes to him and Joshua. And so I think he views him as a bigger threat. So I think he took a bigger, you know, he tossed a bigger insult towards Usyk.
100%. I noticed this straight away when they met each other in person, Usyk and Fury, and Usyk was like real respectful of him, and you could tell Fury knew that Usyk wasn't afraid of him, like or had any like Fury could tell Usyk was on his level mentally, and I could tell that annoyed him. Straight after when they shook hands, they were friendly. Fury's like, "Oh, that motherfucker could suck my dick." Like he started getting angry straight away, you know, after him and Usyk shook hands. Because a minute later he goes, Usyk can suck my dick. A minute later after shaking his head. So I could tell he was under Fury's skin just from that little meeting. The psychological games had already started. Fury was, you know, already getting annoyed with the Usyk as a competitor. Yeah, and I just think he thinks Joshua's an easier fighter. So I think he'd just be happy. He just wants to fight Joshua for undisputed. I think that's what he'd rather. I don't think he wants to fight another Ukrainian. Like for all the marbles, you know, and a Ukrainian who can fight like fuck, you know. There's a beast like Usyk.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. Now that might change, man. That might change, especially if Usyk goes in there and like fucking knocks him out. Let's just say, you know, because he came close to doing it in the first fight. You know, so that might change the way, you know, how people would anticipate a fight between Fury and Usyk. But as of now, I do think that he sees the bigger pot and the easier fight as Anthony Joshua.
Sure.
I was just
sure. Like a little racial. There's a little racial element to it too. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, that's.
I was just saying to recognize, Jed, that I believe that it's ironic for Fury to talk about steroids, given the fact that he tested positive for steroids. I mean, he tested for meldonium or something. Like, I think that's just rich coming from him.
No, I think he tested positive for a steroid.
Nandrolone.
Yeah. Yep.
I find it fucking hilarious. I find it hilarious as well. But you know, Fury is a hypocrite. I mean, he's done that throughout his career. I think he might even do it to just troll people, knowing that they'll, you know, he's just a fucking troll.
Hilarious about it. This dude takes PEDs and he's still fat as shit. I think that's hilarious.
What's up, yeah.
But he's still being Wilder, though. So I mean that.
But yeah,
I mean, Wilder's a one-trick pony.
Yeah, I find the whole thing hilarious. The fact that he's still fat, the fact that he can have that he's a hypocrite to say that. But that's just Fury, I guess. I don't really pay attention to what he says. But I do think I can see definitely that he's Usyk's under his skin for sure. And I don't think he's in too big a rush to fight him.
Without saying much, right? Because Usyk really hasn't said anything other than
nothing.
Basically, he'll fight him. Yeah, he's like, I'll fight Tyson Fury. Of course I will.
He don't give a fuck about Fury, and I think that's what annoys Fury that Usyk don't give a fuck about.
Yeah. Yep. What's up, Aldo? What do you think about this whole thing?
Hold on, I'll be back real quick. I gotta fix something real quick with my PC. But I'll answer that once I get back. My bad.
No problem. You got it, man. Yeah, so it's like you said, Outlaw. He doesn't really give a fuck about him. He just sees it as another fight. It's part of the
Yep.
puzzle. It's just business, right?
Yeah.
Tyson Fury
Who,
is the guy at heavyweight, and he's like, yeah, he's got the belt. I'll fight that. I'll fight that guy. That's the way I see. That's the way I look at boxing. It's just, you know, I think Usyk's mindset is what bothers him. Skills. I mean, when you're in Tyson Fury's experience range, the kind of star he is, you know that you're going to see great fighters. You know that. And you expect it. But I think it's the mindset when it comes down to that. When he sees that he can't get underneath someone's skin, he can tell by, like you said, when they met each other, he had a lot of respect for him. And, he probably tried to do his little tricks, looking at him, seeing if he could see a little chink in the armor in terms of, like, trust me, I'm telling you. I mean, you guys, Outlaw, you grew up in a gym. You guys all been in gyms before. You know that happens. You know that as soon as
What
you go
happens?
into a gym, guys are sizing you up.
Oh
They're
yeah.
looking at you, yeah, especially if they know that you box. They're looking at you in your eyes, like they're kind of like smirking and smiling at the same time. Hey, what's up? They're doing all the pleasantries, but they're
And
like
it.
trying to find out if you're
And it's a
if you
different
got a
dynamic too. If it's like a dude, because it's one thing to be like a boxer, right? And you enter a gym, everybody looks at you, but the people that are your size, they'll look at you a different way completely.
exactly. Yep.
It's a complete different dynamic, even though they're all looking at you. And what did you ask me earlier? You said what do I think the whole Fury thing
Yeah,
with
basically, what do you think about the whole title, the whole Fury comments on both AJ and Usyk?
did he make recent ones like today or something, like this week?
Yes,
What did he say?
I saw an article. Basically, he insulted Anthony Joshua for losing to Usyk. He called him a big dosser, a fool. He said that. Oh, he. This is how he phrased it. You let the belts go. You after all I did, beating, taking the belts away from Ukraine. You gave it back to this little steroid
Steroid.
fighter from yeah
That's very
from the UK
ironic.
from
He's
the
one to talk.
Ukraine. Yeah, he said you
Yeah.
gave it back. So he
It
took a
says a
shot at
lot
both of
that
them.
he can't even say Usyk's name. You ever notice that? Like most of the times when he talks shit about, he don't even. Most of the times he doesn't even mention Usyk in general. That's just a
No,
topic that he avoids. And then the few times he does even like allude to it, rarely does he say the name Usyk. That should tell you something. I've never seen him interested in that fight, even when it's undisputed. It's the biggest fight to make. I mean, even if AJ were to win the rematch, I still don't think it's as much hype as if they just made undisputed right now. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
I
I agree. If they
just,
made it right now, like after coming off that one win off of AJ,
mm-hmm.
I think because you got a pound for pound undefeated fighter in his prime right
You
now
got the all of
versus
UK unifying with Fury instead of being divided with, because maybe they can sell out Wembley or whatever, right? You don't think they could do that with Usyk too? The whole country rallies behind Fury. Like, come on,
oh, of
man.
course they could.
Of course
They
they will.
definitely
Yeah,
could.
and now
They
Fury.
choose how to promote these.
Uh-huh.
This is why when they say the AJ fight's bigger, I'm like, well, how is it bigger when the guy we're talking about, Usyk, just beat the guy? He
Yeah,
just beat the
it's not
counter
big
guy.
anymore. Before
Yeah.
before the
So
fight, maybe, but not anymore.
yeah.
And at this point, it doesn't even like they basically both gain the audiences of the guys they've beaten, right? So like after fighting Wilder, Fury has become a US like name, like maybe not like
Yes.
a Tyson, but dude, he
But
sold like what,
he's still a you say
600,000?
his yeah, you say his name, everybody knows him for beating Wilder.
Yeah.
Wilder.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wilder, he's been on like Joe Rogan, so like you got all those people too. The MMA world knows him for sure. Like he's one of
Yes.
the Tyson Fury, a little bit of AJ, Wilder as well, and then like Lomachenko. Those are the only boxers that the MMA world really focuses on. I can tell you
Yep.
that just because
Yes, this
like
is true.
I'm sure Jed can agree with me because
Yep.
I'm more into MMA, right? But I liked boxing first, and I'm still focused
And
on it in a lot of
and
ways.
and,
But
And quickly, one thing Fury did, I'll give him credit, that was very smart. He started talking shit about MMA fighters early on, so he's always had a name in the MMA community to an extent. That was clever marketing. He used to talk shit about Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar back in the late 2000s. So he's kind of even was putting them seeds earlier to get his name out there, clout chasing or whatever the term you'd use.
Yeah, maybe.
He was doing that early with the MMA community.
Early on, though, around that time, I feel like a lot of, because like, Floyd did the same thing too. Like he called, I remember they had a big ESPN panel where like basically, I think it was
him
like
and Lou DiBella.
Floyd, no, that was Joe Rogan. I'm talking about
that was Joe Rogan.
Floyd and Brian Kenny.
Liddell.
Was it? Who was Floyd? I
don't know if they were talking live, but I think it was like a back and forth of like segments where like Liddell.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like recorded already, but it was like Liddell and Floyd, and they were like talking shit about each sport. And that's basically, it's almost at that point in time, right? It was more so just promotion for both, but especially MMA, because it was being compared to an already established sport in boxing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now it's like, it's almost like a second revenue stream. When you see like, why would he call out Ngannou? I mean,
fuck happened to my shit. Anyway, sorry guys, I think I dropped off.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was only for a second, so you're good. Yeah, man, but Fury has been very frustrating and very disappointing with the way he's handled his just everything, in my opinion.
If he wasn't so obvious that he just wants to fight for big money. You get what I'm saying? Like,
but Usyk is big money.
I agree. I totally agree. It's big money, and I think it's a very significant. Look, dude, you have the chance to go undisputed,
completely
right?
Undisputed.
And also, it kind of look. At least for me, I don't know how you guys feel, but it kind of erases this kind of doubt of the lineal guy. Because remember, yes, Tyson Fury did beat Vladimir Klitschko, who was on a 10-year, whatever it was, run of being heavyweight champion. He's the guy that ended that. But he also retired too. You get what I'm saying? So he did retire, kind of, he's the cause why these belts are in disarray. They're all over the place, right? Well, not really now. 3 belts that belong to one guy and 1 belt that belongs to him. Yeah. But at one point he had those belts. And so it kind of clear up all the doubts of who's the lineal champion, right? Because he did retire.
For sure. The only thing is, right, like, I don't know how popular of like a view this is, but like for me personally, right, when I look at Fury and him getting the belts and becoming lineal, right, then he does the whole retirement mental breakdown thing, and then you see AJ basically win the same exact titles and then fight Klitschko. He basically did the same exact, like, the lineage obviously went to Fury, but if he retires, then it's almost like it almost reverts back to the guy he beat. You know what I mean?
Here's another thing.
They beat the same guy.
Aldo.
Yeah, I've always been so much of that.
Here's another thing, right? So remember, he also had a rematch clause to fight Vladimir Klitschko again, right? So Vladimir Klitschko, what is it? Almost 2 years later, it's now after the fact he lost. I think it's less than 2 years actually. It was like a year and a couple of months after his loss to Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
And so basically the rematch was he was gonna get a crack at Tyson Fury to get the belts back as a challenger this time. And what happened was he retires, and like a year and a couple of months later, maybe almost a year and a half later, he's fighting Anthony Joshua for all the same belts, like you said. He's it's basically the same titles. So that's the mix-up right there. I've always been confused about that whole situation. I'm like, well, wait a second. They're fighting for the same belts. Tyson Fury retired, so it looks like this is for lineal, obviously. But he comes back, he gets the lineal status. And we know who was kind of pumping that at first. It was Tyson. It was Wilder fanboys, because they were very confident that
they want to discredit AJ. and his
Right,
accomplishments.
exactly. They wanted to discredit AJ, and not only that, they thought that Wilder would definitely beat Tyson Fury at that point of his career.
I mean, if Wilder was any shit, he should have. I mean,
Well,
let's
yeah,
be real
I
here.
mean,
Like, what
we
is it
know
like?
the outcome, but like the
Yeah,
storyline was that basically. We know that when it comes to these two guys, we know who's the clearer, better fighter. That's
yeah.
Tyson Fury. But at the time, this confusion
You talking about
and this sort
AJ
of
and Tyson
no, I'm talking about basically Wilder,
and
the whole
Fury?
Wilder fanboys talking about Tyson Fury is still the lineal champion. You get what
So
I'm
he's
saying?
a
Like
better
he's
win than AJ,
right.
right?
He's a better
Okay,
win than AJ because
yeah.
in their minds they were trying to justify this win that they felt was definitely going to happen, right?
Right.
And obviously it didn't turn out that way.
Yeah, like I don't even like AJ, but I gotta admit, a lot of people really try to discredit his whole career. And like,
Oh yeah, of course.
even when I was saying, right, he beat the same guy and won the same titles. He didn't really beat the same guy. Because the dude that fought Fury and the dude that fought AJ were not the same man. The dude that fought AJ was career best Vladimir Klitschko. The one that fought Fury was a broken man, mentally broken. So,
Well, look, I view both wins as good wins, right? And this is what I mean. Like, look, when Fury beat him in November of 2015, he was on a long run. I mean, he was like champion for like almost 10 years, right?
but I
And
mean, that
then
doesn't come into the ring, though. I mean,
right,
that's
right. I
good
mean,
for like on
I
paper,
on
but
paper, right? But the
yeah,
performance was garbage.
yeah,
Yes,
exactly. It was
it was a
boring
garbage
too
fight. Now,
from both people.
Anthony Joshua is now fighting a guy who's I think it was April. Okay, I wanna make sure I got this right. It was April of 2017. So you can
Right.
do the math there. So that's 17 months later. Okay, a guy who's 17 months older and didn't have a fight, wasn't active going into that fight, but he did look great. And at
Turn
least
back the
early
clock,
on,
man.
yeah, at least early on, he was, if he wasn't in great shape, I think the fight would have ended a long time ago. But because he was in great shape, he almost ends up knocking out Anthony Joshua. So you could look at it both ways. I think that the fight itself was better. Anthony Joshua versus Vladimir Klitschko was a way better fight. Um,
But you
and
think it was
obviously he
due to
got the stoppage
his?
win.
You think it was due to his shape though, and not like a change in mentality? Like
Well, I
I,
mean, listen, the change in mentality was definitely there early.
yeah.
Definitely there early, and I think that's the best he could give at that point. Let's be honest. Vladimir Klitschko would have stretched him out
I don't know, man,
three
Yeah,
because
years.
it probably.
I
Klitschko
think he would
didn't
have stretched
fight
him
like
out
that
three.
before. That was one of the best Klitschkos we've ever seen. Like, he's never moved like that in his whole entire career. And like, you can
Right,
make the
and I think
argument that he didn't need to, but I don't necessarily agree with that. Like, we've never seen him move. He moved like a light heavyweight in that fight. He was on his feet, bouncing around.
bouncing on his feet.
He
Yep.
was using, he was actually like willing to stand and trade. Like, he was early in his career, but much more refined. Like, early in his career, he was kind of sloppy, but here he was like, he had proper movement,
But also
proper defense too. I mean,
he kind of let Anthony Joshua off the hook a little bit.
he did,
Can we
yeah.
contribute that to age maybe? Not used to fighting like that. For a long, at least hasn't fought that way in a long time. And now you're
Could be a
fighting in
lot of
this new
things,
way.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and you got to credit Anthony Joshua for surviving.
Probably
Also,
he aged out. He aged out in one night.
yeah.
but he didn't age though.
Mm. No,
Wait, who
I'm
we're
talking
talking
about
about?
the fight against Joshua, like where he was making Joshua look bad, but it's just his age that did the undoing.
I don't know if I agree with that though, man. Because if you look at what happened, right? Did he let him off? Yeah, but why is that? Is it because, was he like tired? He didn't look tired. I think it was just, sometimes he's just kind of like, they don't, Vlad, he doesn't go for it sometimes in his fights. And that's an
Yeah,
issue with like his
sometimes.
trainers, like Stewart, right? He'd have to
Manny
bring that
Stewart,
out of
yeah.
him and yell at him, like maybe it's just like a trainer thing. I mean, that's a problem he's had in his career, And I mean, he did try. It's not like he didn't try. It's just, did he try
Well, no,
his
of course he
fullest? You know
tried.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
I just think that sometimes, who knows? I'm not in his head. Maybe
Yeah,
he just
yeah,
ran out of
exactly.
gas because maybe he ran out of gas. Maybe it's not because of his age. Maybe he's not used to fighting that way,
Yeah. Or
for
maybe
that long of a period.
because they were sparring partners too. So maybe in his head he was like, "Well, I already know he already probably punched himself out, so I can just outbox him for the rest of the fight." Because I mean, that's pretty much how it went until AJ got his second wind, and then he came back. Was in the 11th, right? And then he went for
Yeah.
it. And so maybe it's like he got too
Too
casual with it
cocky.
almost. Not even too cocky, just too casual with it, because he had the experience of like sparring, and maybe he just got too used to expecting things from AJ, and AJ surprised him.
Maybe he just thought AJ couldn't
Yeah, there's a lot of
get that second
yeah,
win. Yeah,
exactly.
doesn't have the
Like
experience, right? Like
yeah,
Yeah,
like
interesting take.
yeah.
all I know for sure is that I really don't. I think that was like me personally. I think truly that was the best version of Klitschko I've ever seen in my life. Straight up. He obviously wasn't, his body wasn't the best, right? Like obviously he was a 42, 41-year-old man, right? But everything that night came together. Did he lose? Yeah, but just he did great.
But that was his
Great
best version.
performance. Great
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah, like a younger Vladimir Klitschko, he was always chinny pretty much. They called him like his chin, like some people called his chin made out of China because
Yeah.
he just, because of his chin, like I guess people questioned his chin early on, but I think over time he did improve. But kind of like what you said, his best version was against Joshua. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a fact. So yeah.
Or at least it was one of the better versions in a long time.
No
That's
long
what I would
time.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would have to go back. There's a couple of
What
performances
Chris
where I thought
Berg
he
Like
was
at
didn't
his
good.
didn't
peak of the title reign, like
yeah.
maybe like
Yeah,
a David Hay performance where he was just dominant, like, but even
yeah,
then
but
that was against like a
prior to
smaller
that,
man,
yeah, prior to that, like you had Brian, and then you had I believe it was Tyson Fury right after that, and there's a couple other fights that okay, he looked pretty good against well, I mean he just knocked him out. He just broke the guy's fucking face. What was his name? Jesus, the one that Joshua had beat right before he fought Usyk. What was the guy's name?
Oh,
Pulev?
Pulev.
Pulev.
Pulev, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember Vladimir fought him and he just fucking a devastating knockout. Like
Yeah.
all you saw was a fresh face from Pulev. Then this leaping, what was it, a right or a left? It was like a
The left
leaping
hook couldn't miss.
left
That
hook,
was
yeah.
it.
And it fucking next thing you know, you looking at Pulev on the floor, and it looked like he got hit with a bat right in his face. So he looked pretty spectacular there. But
Yeah.
yeah, he if you look at the energy that he brought into the to the AJ fight a year and 5 months after losing to Tyson Fury, yeah, I would say for sure. He looked way different, like almost rejuvenated, and going into that fight, saying, "I got to go for the knockout." You know what I'm saying? I gotta beat this dude up. I gotta outbox him, knock him out. I gotta be ready for
All right.
everything, and he
Olaf,
did that.
go. Hold up. This dude Olaf is talking shit, saying I like AJ. You clearly don't know shit about me. I do not give a shit about AJ. And if I remember correctly, you in the BDA Discord was saying that Usyk would get knocked out against AJ. And I said that you were fucking retarded. So how about you join this fucking StreamYard and hop your bitch ass on here and talk that shit here.
Oh,
All right?
Oh,
Because you're not gonna talk shit
now I'm gonna
and
have to drop
act like I'm not
link.
gonna see that shit. Because I wasn't looking. I was trying to chill tonight, but you just kind of struck a nerve with me, and so you're gonna have to hop on here, man. I'm not gonna let
Anderson.
that shit slide.
Anderson. I
I
mean, the thing
like
with social media is that people can talk trash behind your back, but they don't want to face it. They don't want to face you in social. They don't want to face you. I think it was Mike Tyson who said it. Like with social media, people can be pussy and like pussy about it and talk you behind your back, and they don't want to say it directly to your face. That's exactly what it is today in social media. So yeah.
Recognize. Can you highlight his comment? It's the one that says, "This dude Aldo don't know shit about boxing and is gay for AJ. AJ is terrible, and I've been saying that since he was undefeated."
but
Isn't he a
Maybe he's
Fury
not. Maybe he's
fanboy?
a Fury simp.
He's a Fury
I'm thinking
fanboy.
about Viking then. He's still a bitch though. I don't give a fuck. Usyk
no,
fucking
Viking is cool.
120 is your
Viking,
bitch ass dude. He's your bitch ass Fury fanboy. You know, Fury's ducking Usyk, man.
Yeah, Fury ducked. Fury is ducking Usyk. That's a fact.
Yeah. If you're gonna say I'm simping for anyone, say I'm simping for Usyk. I don't give a shit about AJ. But don't give him no fucking credit. He beat a better version of Klitschko. That's facts. Klitschko sucked against Fury. And if you think
that fight was terrible.
and if you think
period.
Fury beat a better Klitschko, you don't know shit about boxing. Because Klitschko sucked ass against Fury. He fought exactly one round in that fight, and it was the 12th. And he won that round. Think about that. The only round he fought, he won. So your dude Fury isn't that good. He's fucking
How is
a
he
fake
ducking
6'9"
Usyk?
dude.
Join the panel.
How is he
Join the
ducking
panel.
Usyk?
Join the panel,
Bro, he's
join
not
the
even
panel.
mentioning the dude's name. He's just calling him the Ukrainian.
The Ukrainian.
You know,
It's
Ukrainian
similar
guy.
to what we were talking about, like how Fury isn't using
The dude's calling out a
Usyk's name.
UFC fighter and not Usyk for undisputed. Think about that.
He's calling out a UFC fighter over for undisputed. Like, yeah, I hate that.
And dude, this pissed me off too because you remember were you on the Friday panel? Recognize?
I think I missed it, man. Yeah,
Okay,
missing
so
on BDA, right?
yeah, we
I'm assuming.
were talking about this issue about Ngannou, right? And him calling him out. And I was saying how, like, Ngannou, I don't like that fight. It shouldn't happen, and he's definitely not the favorite. But there's a chance he might clip Fury because they're talking about MMA gloves and not boxing gloves in a boxing ring.
Oh, really?
And a high guard would not work with MMA gloves.
The thing that's a good point. And here's the thing: you could cut easy with those gloves that they use at the MMA.
Mm-hmm. And so people,
I never thought of that.
Comment section.
Never thought of that.
There was one dude in the comment section saying, "I don't know shit about Ngannou or MMA or boxing." Like, dude, are you fucking kidding? I sent a long ass comment. I was like, dude, you don't know shit about either of them. You're coming up to me. Do you know Fury got like dropped by a fucking cruiserweight? You don't think Ngannou's power could connect and knock him out? Are you serious? He was bringing up fucking Wilder.
Well, so are they decide what they okay? Are they agreeing to, or they're talking about fighting a punches
boxing
only,
match,
basically with MMA gloves, right?
Yep.
And what kind of ring? Would it be the octagon or would it be a ring?
Probably a boxing ring. I mean, I think the only concession is the MMA gloves, but that's a big issue.
Look at Olaf Larsson's profile. I mean, that says more than 1,000 words, Anderson.
Yeah. I'm simping for AJ. AJ ain't my profile picture. I don't know what to tell you, Olaf.
I will say this. Look at the fucking hands on Tyson Fury. That shit is insane, Aldo. You gotta admit that. That is insane. He's just like.
Okay, his hands aren't that
Go
big.
back- to
They're
go-
just
to go-
closer
to
to the
go-
camera. They're not
No,
that
I
big.
agree. I
though.
agree, but they still look kind of.
They're big. Don't get me
Like,
wrong. I mean,
I
the
saw
dude
him-
is
I
like
saw-
6'8", 6'7", so he's big. You know.
Exactly. When I saw him next to like Wilder, and it was a picture where they're like, I think it might have been from the first fight, and they're raising both of their hands. I'm like, dude, look at those hands, and then look at Wilder's tiny face. Like something bad should be happening. You know, like something bad should be happening to the guy with the littler head face.
Well,
It's
that's
just
why
it's just science. It's just science, man.
Yeah, man. It's kind of crazy that whole third fight. It was a good fight, but
I enjoyed it for sure.
Yeah, I
it was
enjoyed
only
it too.
good because Fury sucked in it. To be honest, I mean, he really shouldn't have got dropped.
He almost got knocked out.
And that's another thing too, right? Dude, Ngannou is
chin.
more technical than Wilder. Wilder has one shot. Ngannou has power in all his shots. When's the last time Wilder knocked someone out with the left uppercut? Never.
Trying to think. I don't think I've ever seen it. Maybe.
And he's had like 50 fights. Never.
Yeah.
Ngannou's had like less than 20. He knocked Overeem out with that punch. Did he ever get a chest like hook knockout? Don't think so.
I don't think so, man.
Yeah, like 50 fights? Never.
It's hard to say.
Ngannou
because a
did
lot
that
of his
to
punches
Stipe
land-
Miocic, the greatest heavyweight
A
of
lot
all
of
time
his-
in MMA. You know?
A lot of Wilder's punches were palm shots too, so it's hard
True.
to say.
But the point is, right, like, obviously I favor Fury, but it's like people are saying like they give no chance to Ngannou. That's such a foolish way of thinking about that, especially if they aren't wearing boxing gloves. If they're doing MMA gloves, dude, that's a dangerous fight because, you know, even if he misses, right, like let's just say he hits the body, that shit's gonna hurt, man. Because Ngannou, right, unlike Wilder, who just hits hard but is still light, Ngannou, he is 270 pounds of muscle. So the same size,
that's a big man.
same size as Fury in terms of weight, but not fat, you know. Now,
Yeah, I'm looking at
Let me
him
be
right now.
fair.
This guy's huge.
yeah, let me be fair. Ngannou is probably on steroids, but like we said before, so is
I
probably
mean, every
Fury.
UFC fighter's on
The
steroids, but
the only difference is when Ngannou takes steroids, he gets abs, not fucking love handles. So
yeah, true.
how is Fury ducking a guy who is contractually obligated to fight AJ? Bro, he's not even mentioning him.
He's not mentioning him exactly. He's not mentioning.
He's talking
Usyk.
about everyone. Dude, why is he calling out Ngannou then if he's contractually signed to fight Ciryl Gane? And he's more likely to lose that fight than Usyk is to lose to AJ. How does that make sense? In a whole ass different sport too. Not unifying the titles. How does that make more sense? Make that make sense.
Make that make sense. Yeah, this can make that make sense.
I mean, I
That's
wouldn't
what
even
else is
mind,
there.
but he said, I don't know shit about boxing. So now it's a debate, buddy. I'm fine with just a conversation.
Hey
but it
Olaf,
kind of turned
why
into a
aren't you
debate now.
coming? Come here. Come to the debate, Olaf. If you think you're too cool to debate, why not debate him? If you think you're too
Why
man
would he
enough-
call him out when there's no chance of fighting him next? Why is he
Oh
calling
my
out
gosh.
Ngannou? Same
Why
dynamic.
is he calling?
He's also not talking about Dillian White either.
Oh yeah, he isn't.
So-
He isn't. He's just looking down. He's just
Yeah.
underestimating him. And it's not that I'm giving White credit. I'm not saying White can beat Fury, but I mean, based on what I've been seeing, I mean,
Fury
has
doesn't
been
have good
underestimated.
defense. He doesn't have good defense.
And he got sparked by a 40-year-old Povetkin. He got sparked. Dylan
He
White.
can fight
so-
Ngannou next.
I'm talking about
Oh my
Tyson.
God.
Tyson Fury's defense is not as great as they make him out to be. You know what I'm saying? He gets hit.
It's not.
He gets hit with big shots. He gets dropped. So he's not this invisible defensive genius. You know,
Dude,
he
I
kind of
mean,
has to
like,
get like beat up. He has to get in trouble, get knocked down, in order to like his reflexes wake up or whatever, right? Like he starts fighting better.
honestly,
That's not the sign of a guy with great defense. That's what I'm trying to say.
take Klitschko out of his whole career, right? That's not a great career. We know that Wilder is all smoke and mirrors. You know, he cherry picked his way to fucking 40, whatever, and all bullshit cherry picked wins at bums that he knocked out, and some of them they faked. Like his what's his best friend's name? That like took a dive. Yeah,
Malik
Malik
Scott.
Scott. Yeah, took a whole
And I
fucking
think
dive.
I got a theory about that. You know, Malik basically joining his team.
Yeah,
That's a payoff. That's the payoff.
That's a
exactly.
payoff.
They're best friends.
That should be illegal.
They're
That's
best friends.
that win should not count at all because that was a
It's
dive.
a long
Pretty much.
distance. It was a long distance. It was kind of a long distance payoff. It was like a promise, like, yo, dude, I'm gonna beat somebody.
It would
I'm sure I'm
literally
gonna
be
need
as
you one day.
goofy as like fucking Usyk letting Lomachenko fight him and then taking a dive. It was that goofy. Like it didn't even land. It didn't land. The right hand. They showed that shit in slow motion too. Like had they not catch it and then not show it to the whole fucking population and prove that it was a fucking dive.
Oh no, don't say dive. Dives don't happen anymore in boxing. They stopped.
What's the PC word then? What's the right terminology?
I think it's he quit.
A beautiful right hand. A beautiful
Oh,
knockout.
beautiful right hand.
Yeah.
Okay. I think
It's
I might have
also
some
Beautiful
tiresome.
right hand that put Malik Scott down. That's the political correct term.
Bro,
for
he is
it.
not talking about White. He like mentions him once and then is on to fucking. He's only talking
Yeah,
about
he should be
Ngannou for real.
fighting White. He should be giving the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know White. Look, I don't follow it all the way, through like all the details. Some people tell me that White's being difficult and there's many things he could have done. All right, fine. Maybe that's true. But don't you want to just get this guy out of the way? And I don't know how much money he's asking for. You know, that's another thing. Is he asking for way too much money? Who knows? But somebody's got to fucking fight this dude already. Like, fight him already, man.
Oh,
Get it out of the way.
someone said the political correct term for taking a dive is masterclass performance. Oh, that's a good one. I don't know what you think, Anderson.
PC and the PC
Yeah,
world,
that's
yeah,
about
I see
right.
it.
That's
From
exactly
your
what
boy
they say.
Jack West.
That's the type, or no, a tough but clear win or some shit like that. You know, we
Tough
just
but clear
rescored
win.
me and Ant, right? We just rescored Isak Cruz and fucking Tank. Dude, Tank got destroyed. He got outboxed badly.
He lost
I saw
9-3.
9-3.
I saw it
Yeah.
that night. That night, like, I think I scored.
I saw it
8-4.
7-5 of Cruz.
I was in LT's. I don't know if you guys know who LT is, but LT, he has like a channel. Bit over the, he's kind of like a real character, fun guy for me. He's a fun dude.
He's funny, yeah.
But he's scoring the fight. And I'm like, yo, I agree with him. Everybody's like getting on his case because I think he might have had it like 9-3, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I had it 8-4. It was like kind of similar. I had it 8-4 in favor of Isaac Cruz. Well, you don't know how to score a fight. I'm like, all right, man, forget it. I don't know what to tell you, but you're asking for my honest opinion. I'm telling you, in terms of boxing, he's winning this fight hands down.
Dude, every
know what
single
else to say.
criteria, he dominated. Effective aggression, always on the front foot. Tank was entirely on the back foot that whole fight. Better defense. Tank was missing constantly. Didn't land like really any consistent heavy blows. Like he would land like one or two, like, here and there, but it was never sustained combos like Cruz did. So that there's defense. better punches, clean and effective punches, like everything, man. What else am I missing? What other criteria?
Also, to win the title, or I forgot the quote.
That's nonsense. To win the title,
you gotta
be
take
the
it from
man.
me.
You gotta take it from
To
him.
be the
It's like,
champ, you gotta beat the champ. Some
in
bullshit.
other
Like,
words, you
some
gotta do
Yeah.
extra.
dumb shit that isn't true. That's fake. If that was true,
It's not
fucking
true.
Lomachenko should still be the champ.
Exactly. But they don't apply it to it.
Yeah.
Kovalev should have gotten the win over
He
Andre
should
Ward in the
under
first
Andre
fight.
Ward, yeah.
Yeah.
Triple G
So it's
versus
bullshit.
Canelo.
Yup. In both fights, both of them.
Both of
Because
them,
if that's the
exactly.
case, then if that's the criteria, then you give it hands down to
Canelo could have lost versus Cotto because that was 7-5. You know, like
Oh yeah,
and that was a clear
why not
win.
just
And that was a win for him though. But it was close, right? And he's the champion. He didn't clearly come on, man. That's bullshit. That just justifies those fight robberies.
Why don't you just come on? I'll drop the link again.
Bro,
right?
I literally oh my god, dude.
Real quick,
I don't know shit about boxing. I watched this fight in slow fucking motion, 50% speed. I did a punch count for each fucking round.
Right now he's all,
you gonna say that I don't know what I'm looking at? Are you serious?
Right now he's just talking from the sideline until he jumps on. Let me see.
I'm saying, man, these people just talk. This is why I can't have a fucking YouTube channel, because I would just be roasting people in the comment section talking shit. I can't deal with this, man.
OG Boogie, what's up, brother?
Orale, canal. I'm trying to be like fucking LT.
He's trying to be LT.
Orale, canal.
Sorry.
Canal.
What's up, brother?
What's it
You know
going?
what it is? You were raised with too many white guys, Frank. Tell the truth, recognize. Tell the truth.
Hey, I want to say something. Recognize. Yeah, Electro Jet just informed me that he's back in the hospital. So prayers to him. I asked him, what is his blood count or whatever, because he's losing weight and stuff, and he's trying to get to his goal. So I guess he went to the hospital or something. I don't know the whole thing, but he called me earlier. I was taking my old man nap because I fucking
don't knock those old man naps. They're wonderful. Trust me, I know.
Yeah. So I took an old man nap and
made me a new man.
I missed this call, but he informed me that he was in the hospital and shit. They was taking
that's
blood
horrible.
sample. Yeah, they took his blood sample and stuff, and they're checking into it. So just wish the brother well.
Electro Jet has always been cool with me. So
he's also cool with me too, and also Bruce Ghost. He's also cool. Salute from the guy from Rhode Island, and also Matt Chad.
Mad Chad.
Yeah, all the upstate crew. Call them the upstate.
All the New England guys.
I call Bruce Ghost Puff Puff Pass.
Puff Puff Pass.
But yeah. What were we talking about? What did Tyson Fury said?
Tyson Fury tried to take 2 shots in one sentence. I'm not gonna say kill 2 birds with one stone.
Right.
And he basically took a shot at AJ. The shot was towards AJ, and it was like, "You big dosser, you lost to this. How are you gonna lose the belts back to Ukraine when I put in all that hard work to get it from the Ukraine, and you lose to this little steroid cheat guy, or guy, this little steroid guy." So he's taking a shot at Usyk,
First of all, he lost. He won to Vladimir Klitschko. Vladimir. He won. And then he fucking went on his binge and he lost everything. So, and then he comes in and fights because they did an easy pick on fucking Fury because they think mentally he was all fucked up. But he came back and proved it and beat Wilder on the first one, second one, third one. He just destroyed him. But why the fuck did he not give AJ the motherfucking time to fight him when AJ was saying, "Yo, I'll fight you. I don't give a fuck." You know what I mean? He fought everybody that he needed, that they put in front of him. He fought everybody. He even gave fucking the Mexican assassin fucking Fat Boy Ortiz, Majin Buu, you know. He gave
He gave him a
Ruiz
shot.
Ortiz.
Yeah,
He gave him a shot.
shot.
Boom, he got it back. Okay.
No,
He-
I don't think anybody's really questioning AJ in terms of like wanting to fight him. Look, the
yeah,
situation
no, but
happened. It
the
turned out
reason
it
why
turned out the way it did. They had to fight their mandatories, right? Like that's what ended up happening. Basically, there was a rematch clause that they took to arbitration. It's still kind of weird to me, I must say, the whole thing. But basically, the judge ruling was you're gonna have to fight Deontay Wilder for a third fight, right? And then it was once that happened, Usyk was like, "Yeah, I need my fight now, not like fucking 6 months from now. I need to do that shit now." And it is what it is. That's it. It happened, and we know the results.
Mhm.
So, but Joshua wasn't, Joshua was. I think he was making it pretty easy to make the fight with. I think he'd rather have fought Fury, if you ask me.
Yeah, all I know is that Fury better be cautious with his words because he's calling Alexander Usyk a steroid cheat. But meanwhile, he's been taking substance himself, so and got caught with it. So regardless if it's steroids or not, cocaine, whatever the fuck it is, it doesn't matter. He got caught with a substance, and he lost his license in fucking England. So
Yeah,
come on.
yeah.
Stop pointing fingers at somebody.
What's up,
You
everybody?
do it with your motherfucking ass hands and sign the contract
And also,
and
real
get
quick,
in there
I
and
gotta
prove
say
it.
this. First, I want to introduce Michael Poe. Thank you for jumping on, and I'll let
What,
you guys
what's
continue
up,
to
dude?
speak. But what's going on? I think it's a real scumbag move when these fighters do that. Like, look, first of all, you shouldn't talk. Like, you already have a PD question mark on your career. You already have that. And then you're going to accuse somebody of the same thing who's never had a question mark, at least that I know of. I have never seen anything. And I even looked it up myself. I went on Google or whatever and said, Usyk PED failed test. Nothing came up. Okay? So you type in PED failed test Tyson Fury, you'll get a lot of articles, okay? So, that's all I got to say. Michael Poe, what's going on, bro?
Not much, dude. Just getting over a cold. Everybody in the house had one. I had to take like 4 or 5 tests for the C19, the home kits, and because
Yeah,
my mother got everybody worried, even though we got the shots, and we're all fine. But it's amazing that you
nice.
could still get sick, from what I hear. So it's like they lied to us about what that shit could do. I followed the
Yes.
protocol anyway. I did
Let's
what they told
be.
me,
I appreciate the
just in
talks, but let's
case.
be careful how we say this.
Yeah.
I hate to
Let's
say it, but
You have
careful
to
how we
proceed
I
with
word
don't
it.
it.
mind. I don't
Oh
mind
yeah,
the
I'm
talk.
sorry.
I don't.
It's
No, I don't mind the
it's
talk though. I don't mind.
no, that's all right. Oh, okay. I was gonna say so. It's a
Yeah,
wonderful
is
drug.
the wording because these
The YouTube
higher power
algorithm.
that's in YouTube that it's owned by Google. So, you got to watch what you say.
Oh,
Gotta be
But
careful.
the
Especially
C
they
ninety
try
C
to.
I
nineteen
love
is
Google too.
fine.
Google's the
Recognize
greatest.
you've also you also heard the news that Ortiz Charles Martin did under 25K pay-per-view
I
buys.
mean, of
Oh
course,
yeah,
Does not
absolutely,
surprise me.
absolutely. That's not a shocker.
dude, I'm surprised it
Listen.
did that.
That's probably
I
the
get,
earning.
I know people get
I'm
offended. I know
surprised that
this
it
boxing.
was like
Real
over
quick, real quick. I want to say
10K.
this quick. I want to say this real quick, and I'm sorry, but you know what's shocking? More shocking than those numbers. Those numbers are not shocking. These boxing heads or these dudes that think they're boxing heads that are like, what do you mean it did under that, dude? Nobody cares about that fight. Like, they act like YouTube represents the world, right? Like it represent. Barely anybody was talking about that fight. Nobody was talking about it. All right. And the ones that did probably didn't even buy the pay-per-view. They streamed it or something like that, right? And
And I
so
didn't
please,
even
Yeah,
care
man.
to
dude,
stream
I
it
watched the
anyway.
fight. I don't think I talked about it like an hour after. Besides now, like the only thing I keep on remembering is him getting knocked down by a weak ass jab and then the weird ass finish, with like
Yeah.
he gets hurt and then he like doesn't know where the fuck he's at and he just gets like wailed on. That shit was funny, man. Straight up. It was almost as funny as him getting dropped by the jab because that shit was comical. It's like he slipped on a
I'm
banana peel.
I'm really surprised
Didn't
that
his toupee
that
come
pay per
off?
view didn't do under 10K.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really surprised
Maybe it
at.
did better than in reality. Maybe in reality it did better than expected. In reality, I'm not talking about fantasy world where, some fucking bullshit promoter and some bullshit fans on YouTube are like, yeah, this fight has a chance to do like maybe, 80 to 100. No, like, dude, if it
No
does
one
that,
gives
that'd
a
be
shit
amazing.
about this
Dude,
fight,
I'm surprised
Nobody
especially
it
cares
did.
about
because you
those.
have ball games, you have football games, and so
Yeah, you
yeah.
don't go up against the NFL. Listen, you don't go up against the NFL
Never.
or
Or the
Not in
college
America.
NCAA.
or the college football. Okay, then you're not going to win that battle. Nobody
Nope.
cares about boxing, especially
Would it?
two low-level names, two names that hardly nobody knows.
And also, it wasn't even a title fight to
Would you
begin
guys?
with. Like,
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Paul.
go ahead.
Would you
He
guys
said
watch
it
that
also
fight if you
wasn't
knew
a title
Ortiz's
fight.
earpiece would come off?
I watched the highlights, Paul. I just watched the highlights. So that's all I saw.
Bro, that shit was
I
No,
saw
I
funny.
the
was gonna say,
highlights, but
would you watch it and pay for it if you knew the
No,
toupee
hell
would come
no.
off?
of course not. Of course not. Hell
No,
no.
no,
Fuck
no,
no.
no.
But that shit was funny though when fucking he knocked down Ortiz twice and
Wilder did.
then Ortiz fucking threw that overhand looping left and then
Yeah.
fucking Martin
All of a
just
sudden,
froze. Martin just froze and turned to one side. It was like, what am I doing? Help me.
It was
I
like
need to
Zab
move,
Judah.
but I'm not moving.
It was like Judah Costa where
Yeah,
he
that
he
shit
pointed at
was
the ref,
crazy.
he was like, what's the one comedian where he says like, oh, he made like a joke about it, and he was like asking him some dumb question. I forgot though, but yeah, it was exactly like Costa and Zab Judah, where like he just didn't know what the hell was happening at all.
No, but that Costa Zab Judah, nah, that shit was funny when Zab fucking
The amount of speed
Yeah,
that
his
he
pointed
big
went
at
toe
him.
down.
went like this, and then he was like, no, and then he bust his ass. Yeah, but no,
Dude,
this
it's
or
the
Cedric the
speed of the
Entertainer.
way. It's the
this shit
speed
was
of the
like
way.
more like a fucking
The
old.
speed. It's the speed of the way Zab Judah went down. He went
Yeah,
down too fucking fast. Like poof.
yeah.
He gets back up. He's
I
like
don't even
tries to
think.
get back.
Yeah, it wasn't even him just getting up. He like hopped up like it was fucking Mario Bros. Like he hopped up, looked like he got a one up from a fucking mushroom or something, and then like he
Hey
fell.
guys, I'll
He
be right
like
back. All right.
it was like
Hold it down for
comical. Like his legs wobbled. Like the whole fucking like when cartoon characters, right, from like the Looney Tunes, when they would wobble, it would be like that wiggling sound.
Yeah.
It looked like that shit would play right when he did that shit. Yeah, exactly, man.
That
That's
shit,
exactly what it was
that
like.
shit that hit that fucking Ortiz landed on fucking I walked
Martin?
it off like a god. Martin, he fucking it was like old to me, like a fucking Looney Tunes, like he was the coyote and he just had that dumb look.
Dude, like that overhand left that like hurt him and like
Kobe, get out.
confused him. That shit like gave him temporary Alzheimer's, man. He did not know where he was. Like it was kind of scary if you think about it.
Stupid cat. Sorry about that.
Broner's fall versus Maidana. That was a good one too. Like he like
he
when you
shimmied
watch the
all the
slow
way
motion,
down.
yeah,
He
like
shimmied all the way down.
exactly.
He did like one of those pimp moves, like, "Hey girl," but he felt like shimmy all the way down. Like, damn.
Yeah, it was like soft. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I did almost call him Jab Zuda. I did, man.
Chap Zuda. But I don't know which was most satisfying for me. Was it for me? I'd say between Wilder versus Fury or Maidana versus Broner. I mean, we got to see the LDBC cry in both of those matches.
Oh, that
That's
was
for
a
sure.
toss up, bro. That's a toss up.
We got to see the
I mean,
LDBC cry in
to
both
be
of them.
honest, Fury was the
I
top
keep hearing
dog at one
echo
point,
from
right?
everybody.
I don't know from who.
Oh, it just went away. Now I hear you have an echo. I turned mine off. At least I think I did.
Am I echoing? Anybody else here?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, everybody
No, but
is.
when you guys talk, is there an echo, or does only Michael Poe hear that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, but
So
And
you
then it
guys
goes
can't hear
away.
an
It could be
echo.
my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't hear echo. I just hear
Okay.
popping and crackling, but that's why I mute my mic.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Yeah, it might. If you have like two different tabs, maybe that's the reason why. I mean,
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, I don't know. The Stavern KO was hilarious. It was, man. It really was. He folded him like a lawn chair.
just took a dive. I mean, Stavern in that second one, he just took a dive. I mean,
But not in
the
like the
LDBC will say
fake knockout way, but like in like he literally dived into the canvas and folded. Like, he was slumped. Like not even like he was literally slumped over on like
Let's
he did
be
the
real.
scorpion.
Stavern was not one
Stavern
reputable.
was a bomb.
Yes, he was not a
Stavern.
reputable champion. Plus, in the first fight, he picked him because he was already having complications with had ailment, and he picked Stavern. So, come on, Wilder never challenged himself in any of his fights. The only one that he thought that he cherry picked was Tyson Fury, and then he fucked up.
I don't even
Did
think.
you guys hear
I mean,
AJ
did he even?
taking the match?
What's up now?
The AJ is officially taking the rematch. I'm sure you all already probably talked about it.
Yeah, that's been.
Yeah.
They've been signed up for a while. I thought.
Yeah, for like training camp, it's going to be supposedly 6 months from now. What is he going to accomplish in 6 months? And I don't know if this is true, but did he fire McCracken or no?
I know that he's been like going around the world with like different trainers, but I don't know any official words on a change of training camps. You know.
First of all, AJ
he talks like Yoda lately. I can't. He talks in code. I can't understand him now. He's trying to be all prolific and sound intelligent, and I just don't know what the hell are you talking about.
all I know, AJ, in his ability, he needs to bring the old. He needs to bring the old AJ out. Even though if he gets his ass whooped, at least you go out on your skill level and your aggressiveness to show that, hey, yeah, okay, so what? If he loses to Usyk again, so what? Come on.
His chin was
Usyk
never that bad.
Yeah. You know, so it is what it is. Don't go to fucking Mayweather because he ain't gonna teach you shit.
Chin is psychosomatic.
Yeah.
I mean, Usyk is either number 1 or number 2 pound for pound. So
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's not even necessarily like a training thing. It's
think that
just
his chin is psychosomatic after Ruiz?
I
After
don't
the
think
Ruiz
so.
fight, do you think it's all on his head? Because he seemed to take a pretty good punch before.
I mean,
I think
who's to say that the
timid
punches
now.
that
I don't know.
Usyk landed weren't good punches? You know what I mean? Like he landed really quick and right on the button. You know what I mean?
No, he
like
did
maybe
right away.
so.
Could be that. Could be
Yeah,
that.
it's a
Who
lot of
knows?
things. I mean, we really don't know. We just gotta assume. But I think he was there. Like I said, a lot of people they like to be very critical of AJ and not give him credit. I don't like AJ.
I, did-
I'm so
I
glad
like
he
him. I was
lost that fight.
for him,
But
but I still was rooting for Usyk.
yeah, but even if you don't like AJ, you shouldn't like never give him credit. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, I always
the dude was
yeah.
a 3 title holding world champion.
Yep. True.
You got to put some respect on that. And he fought the top contenders. Like who how many top contenders has Fury fought as a champion?
Just one. Just
Two.
one.
Two.
Who?
Two.
Two.
Who?
Oh, two.
Yeah. Well, you got to put him as the top contender because he held the belt. So even though we know he wasn't a top contender, one is Wilder. The other one was what's his name? Old man, fucking Steelhammer.
Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
gained the title. I'm talking about defending. He never has.
The only one he
Besides the
defended.
Wilder. Besides
Well,
Wilder.
yeah, that's the only one. So it's only one.
And then all his other fights since winning the title in 2015, I mean, besides Wilder, it's been like bums. Like who is it? Otto Wallin?
Otto Wallin, and he cut him. Wallin
I mean,
cut him.
if that cut didn't happen, would we really even know his name? Like that was a clear fight. I mean, Fury had that quite easily. It was just the cut that was a bit scary. Who else? The dude, the German, right? What's his name? The one where like he did the Ali. Yeah, Tom Schwartz. Again, like this isn't impressive, but even if you want to say like Povetkin was old, right? That's still a top contender, you know.
He fought
old, but still top contender.
He fought all his mandatories, AJ.
Mhm.
Even though a lot of people give him shit, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna have a fucking narrative towards somebody or hatred or whatever. You can never satisfy anybody in life. You just satisfy yourself. As long as you're doing the right thing. So whatever. At least he fucking on some of them is questionable that he had a vacant title, he won a vacant title and stuff, but at least he took advantage of it and he fucking fought everybody. He fought Dillian White, gave Dillian White a fucking chance. He brought back fucking Klitschko, fought him because he needed to get that Klitschko fight to pass the torch. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it's like I said, people just don't want to give him credit. I don't really understand it. I think it really started, especially after the Ruiz fight. Like people just became really critical of him, and it became like kind of popular to make fun of him and be critical. I mean, his style changed a bit. Well, not just a bit, quite a bit, but I mean, he's still a good fighter. It's not like he's
he had to adapt. He had to adapt to the second Ruiz fight because Ruiz had faster hands than him. So you can't let the faster hands, less mobile guy be. So you be mobile. You have the reach over him. You utilize your reach. That's what I've been saying for him on the first fight with Ruiz, but he didn't incorporate that ever since he got that left hook in and knocked down Ruiz. He's like, oh, I'm going to use power. No, come on.
Yeah.
What Mexican fighter can't take a punch? Exactly. So what make you think just because you got that one lucky punch in there, you set him up for it, and you ain't setting him up when you trying to motherfucking knock his block off when he ain't letting you, and then whenever you come in his range, he's fucking tapping you up 4 or 5 times. Come on, you reach that motherfucker. You use your jab. That's what he had to do in the second fight.
Exactly.
Sorry,
Seems like we
technical
got.
issues.
Seems like we got Olaf.
What's up?
What's going on, Olaf?
Not much. What's going on, Aldo?
What's up, man? You saying I don't know shit about boxing? What's up with that, man?
Oh,
Because you don't, bro. I mean, you said
How's that?
Tank Davis. You said Tank Davis lost to Cruz, and then you're just
He
shitting
did.
on Tyson. You're just shitting on Tyson Fury for
He
no
did.
reason.
He landed less punches. Did you do a
No, I
punch
mean,
count of that fight? Did you watch
go
it in
back.
slow motion?
I gotta go back and watch it. I watched it
So
one
you
time.
only watched it once live,
Right.
right? Well, I've
And when
watched it
when I
multiple times
watched
now.
well, I'll have to check it out again. But watching it
Okay.
live, it was easily 9-3 or 8-4 for Tank Davis.
oh, that's
Tank Davis
Well,
won like the last.
I'm gonna say this right now. We're gonna have to watch that both at the same time. 'Cause
Thunderdome rescored
clearly
it,
you're
so I'd go watch his video. I won't comment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we-
Thunderdome says things like Mayweather lost to Manny Pacquiao and all kinds of shit
he
like that.
literally did. Again, you haven't been doing what we're doing,
I won't
watching
get
these
into
fights in slow motion, having the audience, the live chat, also watching the fights live in slow motion, not listening to commentary. You're not doing that. So how are you going to discredit our opinions when you're not doing the same amount of effort in rescoring these fights?
I will say this: he did the Loma Lopez fight. He did agree that it should have been at best a draw. You shouldn't have taken it to belt. And I said, well, look at the scorecards. You got 11 rounds to 1 and 9-3. Those are two judges for Lopez and an 8-4. You don't get those kind of scorecards unless somebody
Yeah, there was
wants the winner.
something. Yeah, there was obviously something going on. If you
Politics.
had the fight that
Lopez
far,
really beat him. That's your opinion. He wasn't gonna. Loma wasn't gonna win either way unless he knocked him on the floor 10 times. So.
I thought Lopez won the fight 8-4. I thought Lopez won the first 7 rounds, and then Lomachenko won.
That's what everybody
11.
says, but nobody goes
so
back
basically,
and watch it.
but basically,
Nah.
what you did was
I
you
had a
gave
6-6.
you gave him the benefit of the doubt rounds from 1 through 7, and then you gave him an extra round from 8 through 12. I would say definitely from 7 through 11. I think you'd be it's very slim pickings on really a moment where Teofimo could have won any of those rounds.
Those are
But
undisputable
Did you
Loma
watch
rounds.
the 12th round over in slow motion? Because
I
I
watched
always
the 12th
skipped it.
round. I
Yeah,
remember
because I
watching
always
the 12th
skipped it
round.
because everybody says Lopez annihilated him. Dude,
But if
he
you
only
really
not
listen
true.
tagged
to it,
him like 20.
if
It
you
was
really-
I
20
did a
something
punch count on that
punches.
fight too. It was extremely
Yeah,
close
the
in like
12th
all the
round,
first
if you
rounds.
if you really
outpointed
listen
him,
to the
but
commentary, if you really listen to the commentary on ESPN,
yeah,
they were trying to sell the 12th round as a no doubter.
yeah,
When you
that's
can
right.
clearly
He actually
see
lost that round.
that Lopez
Lopez
is
lost
in
it.
distress. He's in distress in that round. He's under a lot of stress. Did he land a punch? Of course he did. Of course he landed a good punch, but it wasn't nearly as bad as they were trying to make it out. They trying to make it seem like basically he had Lomachenko out on his feet. And when I rewatched
But
it,
he
I said,
He landed a decent left hook. That's it.
yeah.
And the punch stats were absolutely lying. They said that he landed 50 punches in the 12th round. That's absolutely false. They landed both around like 24 or something. And in the 11th round, they gave Loma only credit for like 30 or like high 20 when he landed like 40 punches that round. So they completely are like
ridiculous.
flipping and messing with the stats. Dude, I need to pull up
That's
these stats.
what they do.
I've like literally the reason why I got like popular on like Ant's channel and like people know me is because I would do punch counts for rescores of fights. So like, I know what I'm looking at. And even if
there
you
was
think
a
I
channel,
don't,
I'm not
we
gonna
watch
say who
this
who
shit in
did
slow
it and is
motion.
respected.
So
Real
Yeah,
quick,
I
want
broke
to say
it
what's
down
up
in
to
slow
Dirty real
motion.
quick.
And
I
the
want to say
dude
what's
had
up
the
to
same
Dirty.
punch
Hey,
count
what's up?
as I did for the last
What's up,
round.
Dirty?
And it gives the appearance, because he's got more strength and he's got that pop, Lopez, that he was connecting a lot. Dude, his punch count was 20. I forgot what it was, 20 something to 20-something 8 connected by Loma. All I know is that Loma outpointed him in the 12th as well. So that 1 through 7, you got to rewatch it because there's a round or two in there he stole.
I mean, even
So
People just
the
like,
first 6 rounds, like they were close. Like obviously, right? Loma didn't throw that much, but when he did throw, he was accurate and landing to the head.
right.
Tio was throwing a
It
lot,
was
but were his
activity
body
versus
shots
inactivity,
landing?
though.
yeah, it
But
was
that's not
more
even
like
necessarily true
shoulder.
because
It's like shoulder.
when you go in and watch it slow motion, right? You see what lands clearly, and you notice that wow,
Yep.
Tio he threw a lot, but he missed a whole bunch of those shots, and all of them were body shots. He didn't land like a single head punch in any of those early rounds.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Well, let him.
Loma,
Now he's kissing Bob Arum's ass. That's why he won't fight
yeah,
Loma again. He knows that shit'll be rigged the opposite way now, even if Loma does lose.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I just think that a lot of people would like they call fights ridiculous. And I'm not taking a shot at you, Olaf, but it goes to the point that sometimes people actually watch the fight and then they rewatch the fight. And from the beginning, there was obviously something wrong with those scorecards. 8-4. I would even argue that 8-4 is too far in favor of
Yeah,
Tiafimo
yeah.
against Loma. I think that was a bit ridiculous too. Um, that fight was more of a 6-6 or 7-5 either way. And me, in my
Do you-
opinion,
Yeah.
I think that they use these terminologies like you got to take it from the champ when it's convenient for
yeah,
them, when they're trying to
Exactly.
sell you.
right.
Because if it's good for one fighter, then it's got to be good for the other fighter. So Lomachenko going into that fight had 3 belts and or 2 belts and a franchise belt, whatever the
You know
fuck you
why
want
they
to,
do that?
however you want to
Recognize
break it
that
down that
huge
way.
landslide I've told you before. The judging, like how they do judges, like the way when they try to corrupt the fight, they always do that landslide judge so you don't pay attention to anything else. I'll blame it
Yeah,
on her or him. It's like these people judge perfect fights on a night where
when
it
they
doesn't
want to.
matter and nobody
Yeah.
cares. But they never go rogue or they would be fired. They don't go rogue and change champions if they weren't told. And you don't get scorecards. You're not that incompetent. Doesn't matter if they look like school teachers in their 60s. It don't matter, dude. They've done
And
well in the
here's another
past.
thing. Here's another thing. Why is it if the fight could have gone either way, why it only goes one way? That's the
Always,
question that
well,
I.
not always.
It always goes
Yeah.
one way.
Well,
It always goes to the guy that they wanted to win the fight, the guy that they
you
feel
wanted
is
fresh new blood in there,
is
and I
right,
guess
the
you
guy that they
regret it, huh?
wanted. Yeah, well, I mean, listen, you got to take a chance, right? And Bob has taken many chances in the past in
Yep.
doing stuff like this, and sometimes they paid off. Timothy Bradley, I'll give you an example. Timothy Bradley, when he fought
He's done
Pacquiao
it.
the
Yeah.
first time, when he fought Pacquiao the first time, Pacquiao clearly
Yep.
wins that fight. Okay, clearly wins, and they
Yep.
give it to Timothy Bradley. Now Bradley gave Bob Arum his money's worth because he became a rival. He fought other guys and beat them. He fought. He ended up fighting Manny Pacquiao with no problem, no issues. Fought Pacquiao 2 more times. You know,
Yep.
Big pay
those
per
are
views too. In the
big pay
second
per
one.
views. Yeah, absolutely.
So are you guys excited for
It
any of these
doesn't.
upcoming fights in the
For
next few
who?
Oh,
weeks?
I'm very excited. For which
Remind me
one?
who?
I'm looking forward
There's
to
a there's a
Conceição.
yeah, there's a few good ones. Gary Russell's fighting Mark Magsayo in like 2 weeks. That should be a good fight. And then they got
Yeah.
Virgil Ortiz is fighting Michael McKinson. Do you guys know who that is?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, British guy.
Yeah,
British guy.
he's like 23-0, but he only has 2 knockouts. So I don't see how he's going to be able to
Yeah.
keep Virgil off of him.
Poses no threat. Power wise, at
Hey,
least.
Joe Smith's fighting this weekend, right?
That's right. Joe
Yeah.
Smith,
Fuck
baby.
yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
why I
Joe
said
Smith.
Usyk is head and shoulders. I give him pound for pound better than anybody right now. Even Canelo, maybe not as far as draw or fame, but he made it to the top the hard way. He had to beat Joshua, but he also had the scorecards. They could have effed him on that, but they didn't. They didn't have the ball. If that was in Vegas and he fought Canelo and beat him the same way he beat Joshua, they'd have the audacity to probably call that a draw. Trust me.
I mean, they did it with
So I
Floyd, one of the
give
judges.
credit to. They do the same stuff over there.
You remember C.J. Ross in the Floyd fight
Trust me.
Which one? Which Floyd fight?
with Canelo? They
Versus
gave him a
Canelo,
split
yeah.
decision.
Oh yeah,
Remember,
that's
it was
right.
a draw or a
She's also
majority.
the same judge
Yeah.
in the Manny
Rob
Pacquiao
Patch.
versus
Yep.
Since then,
Bradley.
the first one.
Yeah.
She retired after them because
She
got
got
she
good
got so
money.
much heat.
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna
well,
come
I
to
don't
the
understand
territory.
why, but Adelaide Bird, she
Yeah.
should have just she should have been isolated from
Look,
society
She
after
should have
that.
been thrown in jail.
Atrocious. After that
Sent to
atrocious
Guantanamo.
scorecard.
Well, here's the problem: you throw her to
dude,
jail, she's gonna
they
snitch.
said
She's
she was
gonna
going to be
rat.
suspended for this and that.
But she'll
Judging a
rat though.
month
She'll.
later.
Send her
Here's
fucking
He's judging
waterboarding
a
in
month later for
Guantanamo.
no. Here's
MMA
the
event.
Here's the problem with sending a chick to prison. You send her to prison, she's going to rat. You know what I'm saying? She's not gonna just sit there and say, "I'm gonna take the rap for this." Fuck out of here. I'm gonna say who told me to do this. That's it. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I'm not. The women do not just take
Yeah.
ascensions,
Well,
and unless like you got a gun to a
you
fucking child's head or something.
you see, there's got to be something in the contracts about it. So
Yeah, these people. Listen, first of all, the FBI are very selective on who they're gonna go after. All right. Sometimes you can be a murderer. Just depends on who you're murdering. The FBI is not going to care, you know, unless it's like it just falls on their lap and you have no fucking clout. You know, you have money, but you have no power. Basically, yeah, the FBI will come after you. You know, they'll fucking and they'll destroy you. It's an easy win for the FBI. But if you're somebody powerful, no. First of all, they probably don't care about boxing. That's one. You know, and whoever tells a judge to do what they do, right? Assuming this is what happens, and I don't have any other reason to think that this doesn't happen. But they don't. They secure them. It's like, listen, nothing's going to happen out of this. It's just going to be a fucking win for the guy that we want. And that's that.
So
Way of the world.
so is Canelo fighting that cruiserweight, or is he going to fight Charlo? I heard he's fighting Charlo recently.
I'm hearing the same thing. I'm hearing that he's going to fight Charlo.
yeah,
I
man,
thought
I
he had a
wanted to
press
see the
conference with that
cruiserweight. That would have
cruiserweight.
been nice to see.
Yeah, I don't see.
He did.
I don't see Charlo. I don't see Charlo putting up any different than who's the guy I'm
Yeah.
thinking of? His last fight, Plant. Like maybe something like that. I could see him doing
He'll
maybe a tiny bit better
barely
than that.
show up.
Yeah,
It's
he'll
not to
barely
say that
show up.
Canelo wouldn't destroy these guys, but most of them don't try.
Michael,
You know,
Michael,
he'll
you
win
sound
anyways. He'll win. Yeah.
I was just gonna say you kind
Yeah.
of sound like
Go ahead.
Kelly Pavlik. I don't know if it's me, but you sound like Kelly Pavlik.
That is Kelly
I'm
Pavlik.
congested right now. Maybe I do sound like Kelly Pavlik.
You are, but we're gonna keep that a secret.
Hey, yes.
And
Damn
keep
it. All right, guys, you have me figured out.
So Durden, what's up,
I'm gonna
Durden?
tell you. I'll
Tell us what
I'll
you.
tell you all the dirty secrets.
Oh, Durden
Nah,
dropped out.
I'm kidding. Nah,
Yeah,
I'm
I think
just congested, man.
Canelo's fights are fixed, man. Honestly, I think a lot of his fights
Some
are
of them.
fixed.
Some of them.
I think a lot of them look suspect. I will say that. I will say that.
And it has people see. This is where people don't. I did it on BDA, and he understood me because I didn't take away from his talent. I just said he's so famous and popular right now, he won't lose on the cards, and he was not going to take any serious fights unless he's forced to. He won't take a fight where it's a back and forth dangerous fight. Have you seen him take one yet?
Not in a
Nah.
long time.
I mean, he did clean up 168, but I give him props, but they weren't the exact best.
I think after the back-to-back fights with Triple G, they had a game plan of
Yeah.
like how they're gonna
Yep.
they're gonna have his fights.
Because if you
You know,
fight somebody tough enough to go back and forth, I don't think he wants to put in the work. Again, it's not that he can't win; it's that I know that he's protected in case shit goes down. And nobody
yeah.
believes me, but its proof is in the pudding. Since he was 22, it's not his fault because I don't think even he could tell him, "Hey, man, stop doing that. Judge me fairly." He'd probably freaking get threatened or some shit because he's worth
No, they would
so
just
much money.
ignore him. They would just
Yeah.
ignore him. They'll be like,
So
dude, just you going. We don't know. First of all, we don't know what you're talking about, and second
yeah.
of all, just you're a fighter. Just go fight.
Yep.
You know?
And when I said that, somebody brought up Triple G. Like I'm friends with Triple G. I'm like, dude, I admitted he lost to Derevyanchenko when nobody else did. I loved Triple G back in his prime, but I do believe he lost that fight, man. But he just signed $100 million deal, so they gave him the win. That's my opinion. But that's who.
Maybe that was the first time they said, we owe you the benefit of the doubt to the champion.
Yeah.
You know,
There. Oh, you know what's funny? Max Kellerman on ESPN. For the last couple of years, he's been saying the second fight with Canelo should have been the real draw, and the first one, Triple G should have won, and that blah blah blah. And he's been repeating that. The other day, he says Canelo. The first one was probably a lot close. Probably was a draw, and the second one, Canelo definitely won. I'm like, what? You just
It's
changed
always
your
how it
mind.
is,
You've been
man.
saying that
They
shit for years.
rationalize it. They rationalize it.
they rationalize it exactly. That's all that
Yeah.
is. They rationalize these poor decisions, and people know that it's poor. And again, it's just you know,
But he admitted,
Canelo is a fine fighter. He's a
right,
good fighter. He's actually
right.
puts in
He
the
is.
hard work because yes, maybe he's
Yeah,
on some performance enhancing drugs.
yeah,
I,
that's
I
the
I
lead. I
would
don't
say
even
he is,
care.
but my point is that he puts in the work. But this is business, okay? And so business dictates outcomes, okay? And sometimes
Right.
they look better than the others. Let's just put it that way, right? Some fights
Yep.
look better than the others. Now I don't know. I'm not on these guys' heads. Maybe they go in there and they say, "Yo, I know I can't win on the scorecards," and maybe they say to themselves, "I can't knock them out either."
Yeah.
So
You got
I'm
to
just
hit
gonna,
him twice,
yeah.
at
So I'm just
least.
gonna not bring my best effort. Now, when with Caleb Plant, I do personally believe Caleb
That
Plant
was the one.
tried to win, and I
Yeah, so
think he
do I.
gave. But I just think that the limited experience versus Canelo Alvarez is what basically played his demise in the end of that fight. At the end of that fight, So
Well, I'll tell you the three ingredients you need to beat him. If you can't knock him out, forget about official scorecards. We'll go by our scorecards because we know he'll never lose that way. If he fights a Bivol or a better BF, you need power, you need a good jab, and some decent defense and some decent speed and combo power. Pretty much a
yeah,
Triple G had, just bigger, a bigger guy, which is Bivol. I think Bivol would do better than Better BF. I'm not sure. Maybe Better BF would take him out.
is it me or Bivol's losing his power? Like he lost it all.
I don't know. He's too young, man. I don't know.
That don't make no sense. Yeah, it's like I don't
And
understand
why
what's
does
going
Canelo
on with him.
all of a sudden have He-Man? Everybody says he punches so hard. What did he get more powerful from 31 to whatever? He is still 31 or
Look, you
32.
could get stronger. You could get stronger.
But your punch power? That's like
Right.
Mike
That's
Tyson getting stronger in your in mid 30s.
well,
Like
obviously he's on good performance enhancing drugs. He's
really good shit. Yeah.
yeah, that's obvious that's what he's doing.
Yep.
And people would take that as a shot towards Canelo, but it's like, dude, he already popped 30. So what are you
Yeah.
what are you talking about, man?
Yep.
It's like They all, everybody plays that. They all do it. They all do it. It's like, well, yeah, but some people do it a little bit more.
Yep. I don't know.
It's all
Do you think
about.
he'll fight a tough fight before he retires, like another
Yeah,
tough
of
go up
course. Yeah.
fight?
No, absolutely. I mean, if you look at his body language in the plant fight, that should
Yeah,
tell you.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, that should tell you. He
He
won
looked like
that
he was gonna
fight.
kill Paulie Malignaggi because Paulie, I guess, has been doing interviews for. I think he's working for Sky. Is it
Yeah.
or whatever? He did some interview that Canelo looked at him like he was gonna beat the crap out of him right then
What
and
did
there.
what did Paulie say?
It's for what Paulie said in the past about the two fights. It's probably he heard it, and that's what
Oh, the
I'm
two
guessing
fights
because he,
against Triple G.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Paulie,
Yeah,
Paulie
he
said,
said
"Look,
that. He said Paulie said that he beat him twice. Clearly, right?
he said." Paulie said the second fight. He goes,
Well, Paulie isn't
"Judges
wrong
shouldn't be
though.
watching Mexican style YouTube videos. They should be paying attention to what's in front of them." He circled him center ring. How is
He
that not
did all
boxing?
this shit. He backed off. He exactly that's exactly what he did. He
And I
fought the
know why he
way
did it too.
he fought
He's
the
not
way
as
he fought.
fast.
Look, basically in terms of his footwork, right? Let's just pay attention to the footwork. He fought
Yep.
exactly the way he fought Lemieux.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. Would you say he was fighting off the back foot against Lemieux? You wouldn't
No.
say that, right?
Yeah, but
It's
they
just
gave him
that
no props for closing off the ring and cutting him off and showing real ring generalship in the first fight. No, that didn't count.
what
Yeah.
Triple G did in the second fight was to lead to the outcome that happened in, I want to say, the 10th round. Now, look, credit to Canelo's chemist in his fucking jawline, but it didn't knock him out. You know what I'm saying? Had he been a little bit less stronger, he would have
Yeah.
knocked he would have
If
knocked
it,
Canelo out. Yeah,
if it was at the tip of the chin at the end of the punch, it might have hurt him more because it
yeah,
was smack in the side of the head and right like midway through the punch. If it was at the
yep,
very end of the punch, tip of the chin, it might have wobbled him. Might have. I don't know.
yes.
But I don't want to see a third fight between them because the guy Triple G is old. He's going to lose embarrassingly, and it's like you know,
He might. You're right. He more likely will lose that fight convincingly. You know.
yeah, or get knocked out. I mean, that punch
Yeah.
he took in round 9, the one in the first fight, the one that put Amir Khan into a coma, he took that and walked through it. That's not the same guy anymore. So
More than likely not. Yeah. More than likely, I
uh,
would say he's not as strong as that dude.
they both
But
have good chins, but I swear, man, Canelo, I don't think he's gotten better as people say. He's probably gotten better a little bit, but not like the way they're saying. They're making it
stronger.
sound like he's improved 300%, and it's like, no.
He got stronger.
Maybe stronger.
Yeah.
You know,
Stronger. Being stronger could boost your confidence for
pretty
sure.
soon, like they said that Usyk should drop down. So I think they were being serious, saying that he would school Usyk.
Yeah. Whatever. That doesn't even sound like reality, but I'm sure they'll work it out somehow. If they were to fight.
Yeah, I don't really think it matters what PEDs Canelo takes. He'll get knocked out by Usyk if they ever fought.
Well, in reality, that's what should happen. Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't think Canelo should even take
Yeah,
that
but
fight.
Usyk to
Honestly, I
go
don't
down to
think he will.
190.
Oh wow! Oh shit!
Yeah, that like basically you're fighting a dude who's depleted
Too
at that point.
with the cruiserweight, that other guy. Yeah, he should because it's already a rigged fight. That fight's gonna be like the Kovalev fight. Everybody made fun of me that it wasn't rigged. Have you ever seen Kovalev afraid of what was coming back at him from big, strong punchers? But he was jabbing at him like a kindergartner does. I mean, Jesus Christ. That dude's known for his jabs. He didn't throw one jab with authority. He waited the whole night just to get freaking pieced out.
That
Boop,
was the
boop.
mystery of the fight for me. That was the
And that's it.
mystery to me. It was the way Kovalev fought that whole fight. You know.
Yeah. People think it's not fixed because he got knocked out. No, that can happen. He simply, again, I don't say he can't be Kovalev. I'm just saying that was like an exhibition to show. Look at what he can do at 175. Another accomplishment. I've never seen him fight like that.
That fight looked like a dive to me. I've always said
Kovalev
that.
was swimming with the fishes.
Yeah,
Well, he
well,
was
he
gonna
would
be.
have been if he tried to actually punch.
It
Yeah.
doesn't end like Pulp Fiction. Trust me. It don't end that way.
Dude, he put down Yard with the fucking straight left. It was like a half jab, but yet he couldn't.
Yeah.
Come on, oh, he's saving his power. Come on.
I agree with you, man.
With Yardy, he did a jab to him.
Remember they had those
Like
hats all set up and ready?
Dude, he was
Oh, go ahead.
hard. He was jabbing him so hard to the chest. He was jabbing him so hard after the fourth round. He goes to his corner, and Yardy's trainer is touching his chest, and he's telling him, "Don't touch my chest because it hurts." You get what I'm saying? It's like being stabbed. He's being stabbed to the chest. You know, so that jab, it would have been interesting to see
he was in
that
Mother
jab.
Russia. Wasn't it Russia?
Dude, even a fucking decimated Kovalev, his power jab, that's all Kovalev have in his career. His power jab, set up that right, throw it down the pipe. That fight with Canelo, man, he was motherfucking swimming with the fishes. Fuck that.
Yeah. You got a lot of money.
Y'all talking about Cove versus Canelo?
Yep.
Yep.
I love how they
And
had
he
those hats all set up and ready, like QVC does with the Super Bowl. They got both champions winning just in case, those shirts for football. That was
Oh
a
yeah,
fucking
yeah, yeah. Well,
four-time weight
listen,
champion.
they
Remember they had the hat all
they
set up
do
and ready?
in football they do that. In baseball they do that. In the NBA I think they do that too.
Yeah.
Always they make these shirts. I think this guy
It
on
doesn't
one
mean
time I saw
anything,
this on
but with
dude,
boxing,
I've seen this guy on eBay. He was selling
yeah.
I think he was selling a Yankee shirt championship, but they had
Yep.
lost. I want to say to the Marlins. I think they lost to the Florida Marlins. And the guy had it was like the 2000 whatever year that was, right? Like 2004, 3, some shit like that.
Yeah, 2003.
2003, yeah. So he was selling it. He was selling it like years later because I saw it on eBay. I was like, what the fuck? Look at this shit.
Well, recognize
Weird.
you know they do it those shirts because they did them with the Eagles when
Hey
they
guys,
lost
listen,
in
I'm sorry to
2004.
cut you short. I have to go wake my son up.
No, don't worry about it, Michael.
I
Don't
have to
worry about it,
go.
Michael.
I'm sorry to cut it, but it's it's
No.
like 7:40 over here. I mean, almost 7:30 in the morning. So I got to get him up.
Oh, you must be overseas, right?
All right.
Okay, brother.
Yeah, I'm
All
in
right,
Europe.
See ya, man.
Yeah.
Nice,
All right,
bro.
guys.
All right,
Everybody,
Michael.
take care, man. Take care,
Salute, man.
Peace, yeah. I'm sorry, Olaf, what you were saying?
They send those shirts over to Africa for like kids who need clothing and shit like that. Like when the team
Oh,
loses
that's
the
dope.
Super Bowl, yeah.
Okay, got you. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm telling you, like I saw it, bro. It was if like screenshots were available back then, I would have took a fucking screenshot, you know, just to be like, oh shit, look at this dude. So I was even tempted to buy it, you know. It would have been cheesy to wear it, but just like to fucking buy it, you know.
So I wanted to ask Aldo, how do you think Tyson Fury is ducking Usyk?
Just by the way he's acting in general.
Well, let me ask you this: when I get it, but when he was supposed to fight Wilder for the second time, like in 2019 when he took those two tune-up fights, he wasn't talking about like fighting Wilder next or anything like that. Like when the media would ask him about the Wilder fight, the second Wilder fight that was upcoming, he would tell them he didn't want to talk about it because
Well, that was also after already facing him. That's not the same sort of dynamic.
I mean, I think to Fury, someone like Usyk is less threatening than Wilder was. I mean, I don't think he's at all concerned about that. I mean, like I said, I could see that being either a really easy fight or a difficult fight for several
I'm
reasons.
not
But
saying he's scared of Usyk necessarily. I just don't think he wants to fight him.
well, I think he had his heart set on fighting Joshua, and then Joshua just
That could be true. That
can't
could.
keep the belts.
But
So
yeah, I don't know. I don't like the way he's just been responding to, like it honestly wouldn't even be an issue if the whole Francis Ngannou thing was happening. Like if that wasn't happening and he was just sort of like enjoying his time, like, and not even saying anything about either of them, like whatever, right? Like he just fought, he can enjoy his time as champ and enjoy the win, right? Finished off a trilogy, emphatic style, whatever. But this whole thing with Ngannou, like, what are you doing? You have a chance, even if, right? I mean, Eddie Hearns' hope is that AJ can land a big one in the rematch, right? And he can regain the belts. Then they can set up that Fury fight for undisputed in the UK. That's what they want for sure.
Yep.
So it's just weird that he would go, because that is a possibility. Like obviously Usyk is the favorite. He should be at least. But I mean, that could always happen, and no matter what, it's a big fight and it's for undisputed. But it just seems like he's not interested in it for some reason, but he's interested in Ngannou. Like, what does that really provide? I don't even think that does more money than undisputed.
well, would you rather see him fight Ngannou or would you rather see him fight like Robert Helenius?
I would rather see him fight Usyk or White. Those are the only
That's
two
not going to happen. That's not going to happen next, though. I mean, he's either going to fight Robert Helenius. Yeah, Dillian White's not going to happen next. They're going to draw. They're going to just. That's going to be a long court battle.
Yeah, that sucks, kind of. I mean, look, I've heard. To be fair, I've heard Dillian White like contradict himself. I have heard it. So it's like all about the money when it comes to him fighting Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder at the time. But at the same time, man, dude, like he's been the mandatory for so long. Maybe it's his fault. Maybe the reason why he hasn't got it is because it always comes down to the money.
Yeah, like they were saying, the most he's ever made in a fight was like $1 million, like US dollars. And if he took 20% to fight Tyson Fury, he would make like 5 times that, and that's still not enough. He wants 45% of the purse. So, I mean,
Hold up, yeah. What's up, guys? I just wanted to say real quick to Super Anderson. So, what do you mean? Fury isn't
Oh God, here we
into
go.
Usyk's
Another
fight?
one.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Because from
What do I mean by
I
what?
see,
I didn't even hear you. Say it
no.
again.
What are you saying about Fury is not interested in Usyk? Because from what I
I mean,
see,
he's not interested. That is
he is
literally that.
interested though. Like it doesn't
Is
matter
he?
what you think. Yeah, he is. Like he's been saying that's the
He's
fight that
interested in
motivates him the
Ngannou.
most.
That's what I see. He's
No,
interested in Ngannou.
that's just UFC, dude. That's just talk. It's whatever. What he's been saying is
Why is he talking
Usyk's the
about
guy
it?
that motivates him. He met Usyk at the what was it? It was the
The fight. Yeah.
Lomachenko the Lomachenko Cormier fight. Tyson
Sure.
Fury pulled up.
Yeah.
So what do you mean he's not interested? What do you mean, dude?
So
What do
your
you mean?
proof is that they met at a fight.
Yeah, because Fury went all the way. Come on, we know why Fury went to that fight. All right, he didn't go
Because
to
he's a
Bob Arum.
top-ranked
He
fighter.
went for Usyk. He went for Usyk.
What?
Okay, this is what you Usyk fans do. You Usyk fans, y'all scared of Tyson Fury, and y'all
I'm scared
try
of
to make
Tyson
it
Fury.
seem,
Bro,
yeah.
he
You try to make it
outboxes
seem.
Tyson
You
Fury.
try to make
Tyson
it,
Fury got
You try to
dropped by
make it seem
bum-ass
like Fury's
Wilder.
scared of Usyk,
Twice.
and it's the other way around.
Scratch
It's the other
that.
way
3
around.
times.
Tyson
He got
Fury ain't a
dropped
bitch
3
like AJ.
times by bum-ass
Tyson Fury
Wilder.
ain't
He
a
has
bitch like
1
AJ.
punch. Got hit 3 times. Think
By
about that
who?
for a second.
Wait, what? Repeat that.
Wilder, he only has 1 punch, and he landed that shit 3 times on fucking Fury.
Wilder's
That's embarrassing.
Dude, that's Wilder, dude. I mean, Wilder. Hey, let's not lie. Wilder's pretty fast, dude. Like, come on.
Is he?
Yeah,
In that third fight, you know what Fury did when he saw the right hand? He stood right there, and the fucking fat rippled throughout his body when the right hand hit him. That's what happened.
So
that wasn't fast. He didn't move.
That's the reason why Fury's scared of Usyk because of that, right? Because of that. Even though Fury pulled up, to the fight, even though Fury's
No.
been saying
No.
AJ should take the
That's not my
step
reasoning.
aside. No, Fury's been saying that AJ should take the step aside. So we're talking about that Fury scared of Usyk when Fury been telling AJ take that step aside money. What are you talking about?
He's just saying shit to AJ because he
No,
don't
he's
like
not
him.
saying shit. What the
Yes,
fuck
he
you
does.
talking about? He's saying
He hasn't
shit.
mentioned Usyk
No, you're
once.
talking out your fucking ass, dude. You
Bro, I
got
don't
no
even know who you
proof.
are. You got
It's
some
what
ugly
you
ass
fucking
profile
feel.
picture.
It's
Is that a
what
picture of
feel,
you?
dude.
Because you
It's
ugly as
yeah,
hell,
it's what
bro.
you feel. Oh,
What
I
is
feel
that? Why are
Fury's
you
not gonna
smoking
fight.
crack
What
in
the
your
fuck you
profile
talking about?
picture?
No one give a fuck about what you feel.
Why are
Real
you
wig
smoking
man.
crack in your profile picture? Are you mentally
What?
ill? What's up with
You're
your profile
mentally. We
picture?
talking about Fury don't want to fight. Fury
You're
does
talking
want to
about
fight. We
Fury
talking
meeting
about.
some dude at a
No one give a
fucking
fuck what
fight.
you feel like.
That's your proof?
No one give
He
a
met
fuck
him at
what
a
you
fight?
feel like.
He
What?
met him at a fight. That's your proof.
What else is there? What if he didn't? If he didn't go,
Him not
what would y'all
mentioning
say?
him
What would
and
y'all
him
say? He
chasing
didn't
after
go.
a UFC fighter.
Fuck out of here. Fuck, hey, yo, real talk. Fury pulled up.
Real talk, you
He
didn't
met
say
Usyk.
anything.
He sized up Usyk, and he told AJ,
Yeah,
take
he
that step
sized up
aside money.
Usyk and then
What the
fucking
fuck else
ran.
you want him to say?
He trash
Yeah,
talked.
and
want him to
Aldo,
say,
that's the second time he's done that. Aldo, that's the second time he sized Usyk up.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
sized
did
him
it
up
2
and then
times.
talked shit afterwards
2 times.
when he wasn't
It's
in front of him.
talk.
That's
The
some
fuck
bitch
you
shit.
want, dude? It's
He
trash
talked shit
talk.
when he wasn't in front of him.
It's
Think
trash
about that
talk,
for a
dude.
second.
It's
He
trash
didn't say
talk.
that shit in front of
It's
Usyk.
trash talk, dumbass. It's fucking trash talk.
Usyk
Welcome
punked
to
him without
boxing.
even saying
Welcome to
anything. Think
boxing,
about that.
libtard. Welcome to boxing,
Libtard.
libtard. This
Bro, I'm
is trash
probably the most
talking,
farthest right
libtard.
person here,
You
bro.
fucking libtard. This is trash talking. Stop being sensitive, libtard. Don't
Oh,
get fucking
brother.
sensitive.
We got a
from
fucking
trash talk.
normie con in here, bro.
Usyk fanboy. Fuck out of here. Fury been wanting that smoke. He told AJ,
Hey,
take
bro,
step
Usyk's
aside
Bro, he
taking
money.
hasn't
over the
named him
division, bro.
once.
He told AJ, take step
Go
aside
ahead,
money.
Durden. Get
Tyson
in there,
Fury's the
Durden.
face of boxing.
Nah,
Best heavyweight
Usyk's
on the
taking over
planet.
the division,
Fuck
bro.
out of here.
What do you think
This
about what
fucking
Durden
dude.
just said? What do you
He's
think about
taking
what
over.
Durden just said?
Bro,
Oh,
Taking over
damn,
the
he dropped
division.
out.
what a bitch. I was going to say his idol fucking takes steroids and gets love handles. That's what I was going to end it with.
I hope he comes back.
No, man, he's in the WBC clean boxing program. He can't. He ain't found no drug tests, dude. I doubt he's taking any PEDs.
Oh, we got a
Yeah.
doozy. We got a doozy. We got Slugger Sam. What's up, Slugger Sam?
What's good? What's good, fellas?
But Aldo,
who
how
the
many
fuck was
times?
that? Who the fuck was that on the stream right now? Who was?
That was Bush Beer.
Someone that has a lot of voices in his head, and he forgot to take his meds. That's
I
who
mean,
that was.
how many times over the past 3 months has Fury asked Joshua to take the step aside money? It's been more than once, man. It's happened several times.
But I think
Uh,
the step aside
I mean,
money
what-
that Joshua
He's just taunting
wants is
AJ.
ridiculous. Yeah, I think he's taunting AJ at the same time, but I think that also, look, I'm not saying that he's ducking him. I've never said that. Although I do think that he does wish for the AJ fight. It's a
Yeah.
bigger marketing fight. That's basically what it is. They selectively market these fights. Anyway, so I do believe that he understands that Joshua wants way too much money for step aside. Remember, it's who can pay the step aside money, and if you really look at it, Usyk cannot afford to pay off Joshua to step aside. If you get what I'm saying,
Right.
it would be the other way around. It would be Joshua that can offer, or Joshua's peoples that can offer Usyk step aside money.
I mean,
That's true.
I'm gonna be real here, right? It's not like he has ducked Usyk. I just feel like it's the beginning of like a fire. You know what I mean? Like you start to see
And
smoke. It's
that
starting to
little
smell like something.
accusation of
Mhm.
steroids, I don't like that because I've seen this in boxing too much.
Yeah. And
Where
like I said, right?
it starts causing the fight to get postponed.
Yep.
Next thing you know, they're asking for special drug testing. It's like, I don't give a look, dude. That's when you start losing it. We already saw this.
And right, like they met at that fight, right? They didn't talk shit in person. Fury talked shit post fight, or not post fight, but after the altercation, and then he said, "Oh, suck my balls." Why
Well,
don't you say that shit
Aldo,
to
if
his
you
face?
remember correctly, the first time they met was at the Better Beef Gvozdyk fight like 2 years ago, and Fury went up to him face to face and told him he's too small to be a heavyweight. I mean, he told him
He ain't
that.
say that shit anymore.
So I mean, there's been a few times where he's been at fights with Usyk and he's confronted him. So I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
That
What do you
doesn't.
think
That's not an argument to what I said.
You were just saying it didn't matter that he met him at the fight or something, or he confronted him at the fight.
They met. They didn't confront.
I mean, he did walk up to him.
I mean,
he could
they
have just
were at
stayed
a
away
fight.
from him.
And again, he talked shit afterwards when they were already in front of each other. He didn't say anything.
I don't really think it matters.
2 years
honestly,
ago, when he was still a cruiserweight, you're too small. And then once he already moved up, now he's saying "suck my balls" afterwards when he was shaking his hand and smiling and shit. That's just, like I said, he hasn't ducked him, but that's some bitch shit right there.
I mean, it's just for the media and stuff, man. I don't think it's like personal.
I mean, but you know that he's into those head games, so why would he not go into that stuff?
Yeah, he's definitely into head games. I think that the reason why he's kind of stooping low, like if you compare his head games versus, let's say, Wilder or Klitschko, he felt more in control. So he was very sophisticated with the words that he used. Not
Usyk don't get
sophisticated, but
phased, man. That's it.
right. So it started off like I said, man. If you really listen, if you really listen to what it is, it's a diss towards AJ, but it's even a harder slide diss towards Usyk when you say you lost to a little Ukrainian steroid man or whatever the fuck he.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, man. I don't think he should have said anything about him being on steroids. There's no proof of that at all. No one's ever mentioned anything about him being on steroids. It's never been accused. So I don't know why he said that. But it is what it is.
I think it's to cast some doubt, like saying, "Look, man, this dude is not doing things naturally. You get what I'm saying? He's not doing it naturally. Meanwhile, the guy he's literally fighting, Usyk, AJ, and I'm not trying to diss AJ, but if there's anybody who looks like the poster child of steroids, would be Anthony Joshua. Just saying, What do you think about that, Slater Sam or Durden?
Yeah, what you think about that?
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Hold on, I was just texting on my phone. He was talking about.
Nah, listen, I want to hear you texting on your phone, all right?
Hold on, man. I got some people bugging me and shit. You was talking about, sorry, say it again. You was talking about AJ or Usyk?
Got me on the pay no mind list. You hear this?
No. I'm paying you, man. What are we talking about, though? AJ or Usyk? Step aside.
We're talking about the fiasco between Tyson Fury, Usyk, AJ.
I mean, you said it best, though. Recognize, like AJ, AJ's got the power, like the financial power to pay anybody, right? Usyk, he's still on a little bit lower level. I don't even Fury, man. I don't think Fury's got the money that AJ's got, But I mean, me personally, I don't know how everybody else feels, but yeah, I wanna see that undisputed. I want to see the undisputed fight, and then maybe have in the meanwhile have AJ fight Wilder, right? The two runner-ups.
Well, you said about Fury not having the money that Joshua has. I just saw a list on like a UK site, and Fury was ranked as the second richest active boxer, only behind Canelo, and Anthony Joshua was like 8th on that list.
Are you kidding me? Seriously?
Yeah, seriously, yeah. I saw it the other day. Yeah.
I don't know. I was always under the impression that
somebody's lying about their paydays because if you listen to Anthony Joshua's paydays, there's some ridiculous amount of money, bro.
Yeah, I thought it was like somewhere in the 40 or 50 million, some shit.
I mean, he got like 60 million to fight.
American pay-per-view money. You got to take that into account. American pay-per-view money.
Yeah, they charge you like $15 for a pay-per-view in the UK. Doesn't matter what the fight is.
I was under the impression that it was 60 million USD for Andy Ruiz. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was like fucking Arab money. I don't know.
You said 60?
It was some number like that, guys. If anybody knows the real number, but I think it was like 60 million to fight Andy Ruiz rematch in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I almost thought for a sec you said Andy Ruiz was given 60 million.
No.
That don't make sense. Oh shit, man, your microphone's fucked up, bro.
Whoa, what's that?
what the fuck? What is that?
I believe
OG
AJ's fucking
Oh shit!
AJ made in that fight 50 million on his
50
first.
million. Now, was that USD currency, 50 million euros or pounds, or was it like 50 million
It was
in?
translated into 50 million USD.
Okay, 50 million USD.
Because
It's a lot of fucking dough.
If it was Saudi money, it's actually more it's more value.
Yo, is it just me or is OJ Boogie? He's all muffled up.
Yeah, OG,
Well,
your line is a little. It has
he
mad
is
static
a.
on it.
I thought it was all.
It's switching in and out of Wi-Fi. I had to cut the
Oh,
Wi-Fi
okay.
off.
Yo, but let me ask you this though, Olaf, because Olaf said Fury's got more money. Is it like are they just saying in the last fight
No,
that Fury made more money?
No, I just looked at it now again. It's like I think they said like all time or something like that, and it was Mayweather was first, Canelo was second, and then Tyson Fury was third. But Joshua was at like number 8 in this like top 10 list. I saw the list, so I mean you can probably find it if you just Google like richest boxers or something like that. I don't know. I mean I forget. I saw it a few days ago, but he was definitely like number 8, and Fury was a few spots above him. And they're like the only people above him are Floyd Mayweather and Canelo.
Yeah, that's
Michael Buffer is richer than any of them. If we're talking boxing in general, like anybody associated with boxing, like I remember they said Michael Buffer was making like $1 million every time he said, "Let's get ready to rumble." You know,
That's crazy.
roughly $1 million.
He can't be getting paid that for like these small DAZN cards he does though, like the Demetrius Andrade fight.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know about now, but I'm talking like back. Remember when he was calling Mike Tyson fights? Like back then, he was getting $1 million a fight. I heard. And he always got front row seats.
Michael Buffer, he put that title, "Let's Get Ready to Rumble." Anybody that uses that franchise or uses that off of his, in a professional atmosphere or something like that, yeah, he gets paid for that shit.
Yeah,
he get paid $1 million for that because he titled it, and he also put the what they call that shit
trademark.
Yeah, he
trademark.
Yeah.
Hey, but OG Boogie, did you notice he doesn't say it anymore? I think I feel like HBO bought it out or something because he doesn't say that phrase anymore. So I don't even think he really owns it. I think it was more like HBO owned it.
No, and with the trademark stuff like that, it only if you don't buy back the title or you don't buy back that trademark, then yeah, it can be bought out by somebody else. Somebody else can put let's just say you own that trademark for a certain period of time, and then your terms ends and you don't renew your policy, then yeah, you're not entitled to it.
just sounds like a racket for the Jews.
Whoa!
No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
So,
you're my sugar.
Just a little line from Sopranos.
Well, honestly, man, I do want to see Fury fight Ngannou, but I want it to be like a regular, like traditional boxing match, like how Floyd fought McGregor. I think that would be more interesting than like this sideshow with box or UFC gloves in a boxing ring. It's just gonna look retarded. Like,
yeah, fuck MMA.
How do you see that playing out if they had a regular boxing match?
Yeah, I'll go with the boxing.
Fury would win.
Yeah, but like, would it be early? Would it be like really like a bad beating? Or
probably
I think that guy would do better than Wilder.
Just
looks like he's in better shape,
Fury needs to box the shit out of him and then get him tired within five rounds and knock him out.
Yeah, I've only seen that guy fight one time in the UFC. That was like a year ago. I don't really follow UFC at all. Hello?
Oh, we lost him.
I don't know. Somebody cut out.
And that was recognized.
I like seeing these UFC guys get beat up in boxing. Honestly,
Yeah, no,
I think it's funny when they
hear you,
argue.
but it's kind of embarrassing that the boxers can't go into the octagon, though. Don't you agree, though?
That's a different type of animal, and they ain't prepared for grappling, or they ain't prepared for a high kick. They're gonna think, it's just boxing, and they ain't prepared for a guy that has Roman Greco wrestling background that will snatch him up. Yeah, they ain't ready for that shit. That's a totally different. They need to stick where boxing, and UFC. It's totally different. It's a totally different tournament style fighting.
No, I agree with you, OG Boogie, but what I'm getting at is like the UFC guys, they came over to boxing, but no boxer has went over to the MMA community. So I'm saying we're kind of proving MMA is harder.
Well, you gotta look at it like this. But
It's semi harder, but yeah, like boxing's harder because like once you go into that realm, like it's harder to win. But
boxing,
anybody can win.
Watch, I'm gonna give us this. Technically, if you think about it, boxers like boxing is actually more dangerous because the way it works is you're just getting punched in the head, and when he's punching you in the head, you can't well, you can clinch, but you're not supposed to, right? But you can't try and take him down. You're pretty much your only defense is your arms, right? To try, like if you're doing the peekaboo high guard, that's about it. Whereas I've been wrestling, if a guy's trying to, knock your head off, you can try and wrestle him down or whatever. Like you got more tools, is what I'm trying to get at. So boxing is more dangerous. If you really think about it.
Let's put it this way. Look, each sport has its dangers. Okay, like in boxing, I'm gonna break it down. Rabbit punching, behind kidney punches, shit like that, low blows to the nuts. And that's a legal punch right here that I'm gonna say that you can punch a motherfucker in the throat, and that's a legal punch because it's in the front. In boxing, okay, MMA, you got motherfuckers. When you're gonna try to rush them, and in like a good instance was fucking Cyborg's ex-husband. The motherfucker got his whole cranial cracked in, okay, with a knee. So every sport has its own aspect of violence in it, but to put two categories that are totally separate, you cannot, because MMA got boxing in it, but it's not entirely. So that's why you can't put an MMA fighter with a boxer in their sport, because the boxer is going to be superior to the MMA fighter because they only got one tool to use, which is boxing. If that motherfucker is not a boxer and he gonna go in with a fucking professional boxer, he gonna get his ass whooped.
Yeah, that's basically even if a guy, you got a guy who's an MMA guy, mixed martial art guy, and he knows a little bit of boxing, he knows a little bit of of everything, and then there's one martial art that he's an expert at. That guy is going to find it very hard to just fight throwing punches. Number one, he's going to run out of ideas, which is going to cause panic, which is going to cause him to deteriorate later on. And let's say he's a good enough athlete that he's in great shape. He's built to go whatever they set the distance to. But when he can only do one thing, when he's used to doing many other things, if one thing is not working, he's pretty fucked. He's limited. That's why you cannot put a boxer in an MMA competition where a guy can he can use his fists, he can use takedowns, wrestling moves, jujitsu, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he can use, he's going to be at a disadvantage. He's going to get hurt really bad because he's just not conditioned to fight those kind of fights. In the same way, McGregor is not conditioned to be a boxer. I mean, people say, "Well, he went 10 rounds with Floyd Mayweather." But I'm like, yeah, Floyd Mayweather that's like kind of washed up. You know what I'm saying? Like he's done. He's a 40-plus-year-old man at this point, and he still ended up stopping him, right? Because he's a boxer, bro. Can't compare the two.
No, I listen. I agree with you guys completely, man. But all I'm trying to get to is like when, like take it when Floyd and Connor had their little beef, and then Connor said, "Okay, I'll agree to meet you in the ring," but then he's like, "But would you step in the octagon with me?" That's all I'm trying to get at. Is I'm saying every time the offer was made,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
it was the boxers that were kind of catered to. Now, no, but I'm saying I agree with you guys. I'm not disagreeing because an MMA guy at least he has striking, but a boxer he doesn't have no ground game. He only has striking. So that's
very
why
good.
that's why we always brought it to boxing and not to the wrestling mat, right? But
Right.
what I'm saying
So,
is, I'm saying
gotta
the
understand.
boxers are embarrassed right now because they never stepped foot in the octagon yet. None
You
of them
gotta
have yet.
understand. You gotta understand, Slugger. Who was the main marquee person? Who was bringing in the money? Was it Connor or was it Floyd?
It's Floyd, of course.
Okay, so why are they gonna do, in a business sense, in a business aspect, in business model? Why will I, after I whooped his ass, go into his sport and try to fight him when I don't know shit about his fucking sport? And then now, since he's TBE, we remember that's his trademark, TBE, the best of all time, and whatever the fuck he wants to call him, or Team Money Mayweather. Why is he going to go into his sport and then lose that personification of I'm the best and
Never
go
lost.
into
I
his
never
sport?
lost.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you never actually seen Floyd lose. Was on the scorecards. You know, you never seen him lose a fight, so he doesn't want to lose that. Obviously, and I'm not saying it's right, but we know that he's not going to concede to going to a fucking MMA fight where he's almost guaranteed to lose within 2 minutes. I would
Right.
say 2 minutes, it's over.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Recognize that's what, like I'm saying, the people know what would happen if a boxer went
Yeah.
over to the MMA ring, and
Oh
that's
yeah,
why.
yeah. I'm not arguing that for
Yeah,
sure.
no,
Right.
no,
Definitely not
Look
arguing
at
that.
Clarissa
but that's
Shields.
all I'm getting at. That's why I'm saying the MMA community, when they get at the boxing community, they kind of there's really no response you have. That's all I'm trying to get at.
Look
You
at
can't
Clarissa
really.
Shields. Olaf just brought that up. Clarissa Shields. Now look, I don't follow MMA, so I'm not trying to shit on the girl that beat her. But what
Mhm.
was the girl's status in terms of how good she was that beat Clarissa Shield? Was that girl a champion or average of the
I,
mill type of fighter?
I think she had like 3 or 4 losses, some shit like that.
Yeah, no, the people in that PFL thing, they're basically like not even good enough to be in the UFC. So
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's what she was
so
at.
so I'm glad you brought that up, Olaf. So let's put Clarissa Shields in there with the people that can fight the UFC, that compete at the highest level. What would they do to Clarissa? What would they do to her? They'll kill her, right?
Yeah, they'll definitely
Basically,
submit her. Once they get her on the
yeah.
ground, it'd be over.
It'll be over. Look, and I tell people this, right? I have a brother that he wrestled at a very high level, very, very high level in terms of like college, from high school to college. And this is my brother, like in terms of personality, you can't really compare personalities in terms of like aggression compared to me and my other brothers, right? But once he learned to wrestle, it was a wrap, bro. It was a wrap. If you put us in an environment, now if you put me in I said you can only box me, I got him, no doubt. But if it's like whatever goes, once he put that clamp down, bro, it was over. Like it's pretty much over. Me or my brother, it didn't matter who it was. We could give a good fight till our arms break off, but at the end of the day, he's winning. He's gonna win. He's winning that battle, you know. And this is my brother, the one that had the lower aggression of all of us growing up. He was the more intelligent one, in other words. He's the smarter one.
Yeah.
So just something I've seen it, and me and my brother are very good boxers. We know very all the good moves, everything. We trained very hard, and we did that from little kids. Um, but when my brother, who wasn't really, he was only interested in boxing because he was not really good at it. But when he found his love for wrestling, I think that it's pretty safe to say that the wrestler with a little bit of boxing skills could fucking beat a guy who's a really good boxer with limited wrestling skills.
No,
Well,
I,
with the
I agree with that completely. Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. I think everybody should definitely do like boxing and wrestling. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
absolutely.
Get like both of them going.
You got four ranges. You got kicking range, punching range, trapping range, and
Yep,
grab.
grappling. Yep.
So,
Well, the trapping is part of the wrestling ring. You know what I mean?
not really, not necessarily so, because you got freedom of movement in the in the trapping range, because you can do a headbutt into a knee, into a fucking, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then with the grappling, that's when you already up close and you have nowhere to go but to wrestle.
Right. So you're saying the trapping is more like jiu-jitsu, right? Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
No, not really. Trapping, you can. It's like street fighting. Okay, like you in a street fight, and the guy has better hands than you. You kick him or whatever. You get up to him at a closer range that you can manipulate him to be able to have the leverage over him and manipulate him, regardless of how strong, how big, doesn't matter. You get around his advantage. You get the advantage point, whether it's behind him, to the side of him, and you already close up to him. Now you bring him into grappling range, where you can fucking bring his fucking. Let's say you behind him, you dip behind him. And then you put your arm near his throat and pull him back, and you take a step back and land his fucking knee, and land your knee right into his fucking cerebellum as he's coming down. That's considered trapping range into a grappling range.
Yeah,
So it
that makes
depends on
sense.
how vicious you want to be.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yo, you guys want to listen, man? I don't even want to get into this. I don't want to change the topic.
What's up?
But I just seen this like little high clip of like Jake Paul's knockouts. With
Oh.
Nate Robinson and Woodley and Ben Askren.
Mhm.
And bro, I didn't really see this till now, but the fall that Nate Robinson had, that shit doesn't even look real. Like it looks like he purposely landed on his knees and is laying on his stomach. I'm not even trying to get into like conspiracies, man, but like, and then I'm seeing the Nate Robinson one, like, sorry, I'm
Are
seeing
you
the Ben
telling me?
Askren.
Are
Bro,
you
I am.
telling me?
Bro, I
Are
am
you
telling
telling? Hold on,
you,
time
it's the
out. Are
same
you
knockout.
telling me?
Recognize the same knockout every fucking fight he had.
Are you telling me you believe in your heart of heart, in your mind of mind,
Yes,
that
yes, I do.
that the Paul brothers have fixed fight? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
I'm telling you, yes. I'm saying for a long time I tried being like
How
logical and fair.
dare how dare you? How dare you?
Look, recognize. I know right now you're making fun of me, but look, I'm gonna tell you this. I for the longest time I was going like this. I'm like, look, man, I'm not gonna hate up the young buck. I'm gonna just go ahead and assume, he's training like a professional boxer, and he's able to get it done, right? And I mean, Nate Robinson's a ball player, and
Hmm.
Ben Askren is a wrestler, so it
Hmm.
ain't really hard to beat them. But
Right.
I mean, rewatching the sort of high clip I just watched, man, it looks like they were like taking their knees to the ground. You know what I mean? Like they were trying to fall down to the ground.
Look,
Yeah, that shit looked fake as hell, bro. That shit looked fake as hell.
Ben Askren got his ass served by Jorge Masvidal, and he tried to so and then the football guy, he don't got no business in a boxing ring,
Even the
especially
basketball guy. The
yeah,
basketball
basketball
guy.
guy, football guy, don't matter. If they haven't trained in the sport for years, yeah, come on, that's a cherry pick and a half, man. That's just a money grab.
I heard. I think I overheard some YouTuber, and I could be wrong about this, or he could be wrong about it, not me. That he was basically saying that the Paul brothers, right? I don't know which the one that got the knockout recently. Was
Jake
it Jake
Paul.
Paul?
Jake.
Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Yep. That I don't know how true this is, but allegedly he's making the claim that the guy has a no knockout clause, meaning you can't knock him out. Now, this is what I would say. If this is
Some
true, if
some
this is
say
true,
Canelo got that too.
look, this is what I'll say.
You
If
said
if
Canelo's
anybody
got that too?
if anybody has that in their contract, if anybody has that, and I'm talking about for right now, I'm talking about Jake Paul. Uh, that is the definition of a fixed fight, bro. If I
Yeah.
can't fuck you up, okay, that's part of the con, right? Because what happens when you knock a guy out? You fuck him up, right, and then you knock him out.
Mhm.
If I can't do that, that is the definition of a fixed fight. That's all that is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And again, I'm just telling you that that's what I heard. I've never looked into it. I don't look at the contracts. If I don't even know if they would be available for anybody to look at. So I'm not saying that's what's going on. I'm saying if it's true. And you know something, look, because just understanding business, right? The entertainment world, okay, we're not real we've never really touched that unless maybe you guys have, I don't know, but um why would anybody be shocked if they have a script, and even in professional sports, right? Like they have a look, professional sports, you can't predict everything. That's There's always going to be one that gets out of your hand. Like everybody, take the Super Bowl. Everybody has, like, they do a survey. What team would do? What team will sell the best if they met at the Super Bowl? You get what I'm saying? They have those things, and that's why sometimes you'll see calls be made that you're saying, "What the fuck is going on?" You get what I'm saying? And that could deter the opponent. That could deter the opponent really quick. Uh, and the same thing for boxing, and the same thing for a lot of sports. If you look at them, bro, again, I'm not saying that one guy's like, "Yo, you're gonna dive," and that's that. Even though I still don't discard that, I'm pretty sure that happens in some kind of level, and not for the same reasons you may think. It may be because I know I can't beat that guy, literally, meaning physically. I know I can't beat him, so I'm gonna dive in the first round and see what kind of money odds I could get out of that. You get what I'm saying? Like shit like that really
Mhm.
does happen. So people shouldn't be
Yeah, it
offended
has
when
to.
people say that. You know,
Yeah.
because I notice a lot of boxing fans, especially, they get offended when you even dare mention a fight could be possibly fixed. It's like, dude, man, the sport was the sport was built on fixed fightings, man. That's what it was built on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot
A
of them
lot of
don't even want to
times,
have that discussion. They're just kind of like, what? Like when I was pointing out about the Kovalev like conspiracy with Canelo.
yeah.
Oh shit, my bad. Like he was fucking like this one guy was pretty knowledgeable with the sport, but then he just didn't want to get into that because he was like, well, that's not my problem. He's like, I don't need to think about that. It's Kovalev's fault that he let himself get knocked out. Then they're
Well, I
just
mean,
kind of like,
listen,
but you're
to a
not
certain way,
curious as to why.
yeah, exactly. You see, in a way, he's right about that, right? Like he is kind of right. Like, okay, listen, if you agree to that, that's on you, bro. That speaks to your character. But this whole thing that it doesn't exist, and that I should be offended because because I like Canelo. It's like it's just business, bro. It's not that Canelo's not good enough. If he wasn't good enough, he would have never been exposed to the level that he did. HBO, Showtime, pay per view. He's good. He's really good. But at a certain point when you're making money off a man, you're making a whole lot of money. You need some fucking security. I mean, you don't think these people are Superman, right? That they could just beat any man. No. You chance every fight, you see what happens. Just go in there and say, I'm just gonna let the chips fall where they may. You'll be surprised one guy comes in, you don't even know who he is, but you'll know him at the end of the night. Because he beat the guy that everybody thought was gonna win. That happens a lot.
Bro, hold on. Recognize. I'm not even trying to keep, bro. Now I'm rewatching the one with fucking Woodley. Bro, listen, I swear to God, man, I'm fucking going crazy because I didn't even properly watch this. Look at this. Woodley has both of his hands up. Look. This is what I'm watching. Woodley has both of his hands up in the high guard. Woodley sees Jake Paul telegraphing the right hand. Woodley puts down his left hand and cringes his face like he's getting scared that he's going to get hit. Bro, tell me that ain't fucking fixed, man. Tell me that ain't fucking fixed, man.
Well, the one thing I would say was...
Bro, I can't even believe I didn't know this till now, man. This is blowing my mind.
He looked like he was just standing there doing nothing. And that's like a way to get knocked out.
Wait. What did the guy who posted the video, what did he goes, watch him pick up his hand to defend himself. And then, wait, there's something blocking the writing. Punch coming. Oh, he sees the punch coming and drops his hand and braces for the impact. That's what I was trying to say. Bracing for the impact.
Mm-hmm.
Like he looked scared, right? And that's entertainment, not boxing. That's what the guy wrote. That's entertainment. I'm like, wow. Man, come on, man. You guys can't tell me I wasn't being fair for Jake Paul. I gave the guy a lot of credit, and now I got all the evidence that this was a fixed fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, bro. I'm telling you.
No, but I want more off the fact that everybody would have got at me if I said
you're not a real boxing fan. You're not a real boxing fan.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not a real boxing fan. Durden, you're not a real boxing fan. That's all you
exactly.
You guys are not real.
All over Instagram seems like that. Every time the big one is everybody's saying that Canelo learned his defense from Floyd, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, you guys. I fucking can't stand these guys on Instagram saying that shit over and over and over and over.
Wait a sec, Canelo does the Philly shell?
They act like fucking Floyd taught him everything in that loss, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? You're so weird, man.
Yeah.
Like they're literally taking credit for Canelo's
I don't
success.
even think I've ever seen Canelo do the Philly shell.
That's why Canelo should have never fought him. Should never fought Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
Pacquiao should have probably never fought him, dude. Fuck that guy.
Not at that point, you know.
He got paid a lot, I guess, you know, but still, it's just that was a joke. Sometimes I don't know. Talk about fixed. I don't even know. Sometimes I watch that, and I think like Pacquiao's in on it too, or something. It's almost like he's missing Floyd on purpose or something.
Who said that? I think Stu said that.
It's just weird. Like, you know how he would throw to the body, but he would swing all wild like a monkey or something. Like, it's like, what is Pacquiao doing? I'm pretty sure that's not how he is because I've seen him more accurate. But I don't want to hear it from the Floyd people like, oh, you know, that's the genius of Floyd Mayweather. Can't hit him. So I don't know. It all bugs me, man.
That fight was so boring, and it was mainly because of Floyd, that I don't know how you score that fight. Like, how? How do you score it? How do you say that was a schooling? So I'm thinking that the only reason why was because the expectation was all on Pacquiao, you know? So
I guess for some reason, I don't know why it has to be. But even then, like, he was like the guy coming forward. He was aggressive. And I don't know. I just thought he kind of edged it a little bit, dude. But I don't know. They say he outlanded Pacquiao by fucking all these percentages, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I've seen.
I didn't even see that. Yeah, I'm like, I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. I remember watching the fight. There was some girls there. I didn't know who they were, but they were just like, "Why are you guys giving the guy that was literally running away from the small Asian guy like all these props? Like he just ran."
Damn, the girl said that to you?
Yeah,
The
I
girls, man.
remember that story, dude. You've
Yeah.
told me that, like, whenever you think of that fight, like, you're like, man, these girls even said that. What the hell? Like, the dude's
Yeah,
running away.
they were just they had no real, skin in the game. I'm sure they were there to hook up with like the dudes that were there. You get what I'm saying? Like that's probably they probably would like just scouting out the talent if they could get a guy to pay for them whatever. But yeah, they just watching the fight. They're like that dude that's calling himself the best ever doesn't fight like it. Because what do women by their human instinct think of the best fighter ever? A savage, bro. Right?
Yeah, but you got all
That's
these. That's the dudes.
These
The
other
dudes that
hands,
like
man.
this fucking weird defensive shit that Floyd does.
And the funniest thing about it, those girls was absolutely correct, giving their honest opinion of what they saw. Because even Floyd Mayweather's father said, "Why are you fighting scared?"
true.
Yeah, that's on tape, recording, whatever.
Well, even his dad was like giving him too much respect, man. Yeah.
The thing I
How
don't like
about
about
Roy
Freddie
Jones?
Roach though is that
And
guy would always say that
the kicker
backstabbing
was
too.
Floyd knew Manny was injured. He knew. He even admitted it.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yo,
Boxing is
fellas,
a business, man.
I'm about to dip out of here. I gotta go to bed, man.
All right, get some
I
rest,
can
old man. Get some rest, old man.
Fuck, man, I'm the
All right,
youngest
you
one
do.
on the panel, for fuck's sakes, man.
And you sound like the oldest guy in the panel. You know
Oh
what I mean?
shit, man.
I'm
All right.
fucking
I
with you,
better go
buddy.
to bed then.
Get
All
some
right,
rest, like I
peace.
said. Peace, yo. Yeah, man. I think I'm about to wrap it up too.
Yep, yep.
All
About
right,
to
yeah,
wrap it
cool.
up. Well, it's good talking to you guys, man.
Have a good one, man.
Any last words? Any last words? Durden,
Same time next
OG.
week or what?
Same time next week.
We'll be celebrating Joe Smith's win.
Woohoo! Shout out to them boys from Strong Island, man. Strong Island.
Strong Island.
Boys from Smithtown. That's where they're built like that. Smithtown. All right, brothers.
All right, man. Peace
To
out.
everybody in the chat, man. Peace out. OG
Peace
Boogie,
out to
peace.
everyone. And the
Olaf.
toe style is the mint style. Go look at the 5 Deadly Venoms, man. That's good. Take your mind away from everything.
Yep. Sounds good, man. Peace.